From downtown, this is Tim Kitzrow from NBA Jam, and you're listening to NintenDomain Podcast. Boom shakalaka!
This week on NintenDomain, the Adventures of Elliot demo is out, and I've tested it out. Plus, I've gone real deep into the Final Fantasy Rees.
There's just so many options. I think I could play Tetris Forever.
I'm 33 years late for Mortal Monday.
Welcome to NintenDomain Podcast, episode 521, your place to hear Nintendo fans talk about various Final Fantasy 7s and demos and Mortal Kombat and whatever else. And we are your hosts. I'm Trey Hellhouse Hunter Johnson.
I'm Jeremy Mysterious Slate Completer Mikowski.
I'm John Flawless Documentary Knitter.
Yeah, I saw you might have got that game, that their game.
I did.
Did you go see that their movie, or did you just get the game? Well, let's start off
No,
the
not
show.
yet.
Let's start off the shows we normally do and talk about games that we got and games that we've been playing. John, you finally did it. You finally took the mortal plunge.
I did. Yep.
But you didn't see the movie, right? You didn't go see Mortal Kombat 2.
No.
I was
Not
wondering.
yet.
I was wondering
I'm
if you had.
fence.
I was wondering if you had seen the movie and you were inspired to get the game afterwards.
I was inspired by the sale.
Yeah. Yeah, it was on sale for like 30 some bucks, right? Like
33 bucks. Yep.
Yeah, which is
down from 50.
Yeah.
That was enough for me.
I mean, there's many games on there to play with, not to mention all the hours of footage. But I did hear, I was kind of there's a fighting game podcast that I listened to, and they were talking up Mortal Kombat, the new movie, a lot. It made me a little more interested in it, but I'm not going to go see it in the theater. I'll watch it whenever it's on streaming. But I'm a little more interested in it now because they gave it a high review, and they absolutely hated the first one. So, and also, maybe you might have gotten your wish from the second movie, and everybody's wish
That's kind of what I'd heard. I accidentally found out something
about certain characters. Yeah.
Yep.
they listen. They listen to the fans apparently. So yeah. But yeah, Mortal Kombat.
If and when I go see it, I'll go see it probably sometime this week. I think I said that last week, but it'll just be like an off the cuff thing. Like if I got some time, I'll go see it.
If you wait too long, it won't be there anymore. Movies don't stay in theaters anymore. They stay there for like a week and they're gone. So, get tickets now while you can. But you got the Mortal Kombat, whatever it's called.
I did.
Ultimate Collection, Legendary Collection, whatever.
Yep.
Collection. What do you think?
I really like it. I think that once again, that Digital Eclipse has proven why they're the best at this genre that they basically founded. They showed everybody the way on how to put these packages together, and this is like, it's great, And now I know, Trey, you got this game, and you got it for the game, so you're a fighting game person.
Yeah,
I'm less a fighting game person. I'm more interested in the documentary side of this package.
Yeah, so you've probably seen more than I have, because I watched about like 10 minutes of the documentary stuff, and that was that.
I've been going through. There's just the same formula as the other games, Tetris Forever and all the rest. There's a timeline on there, and you can choose to play the games. Just pick from a list, or you can go on the timeline and play things that way. And I did start out by just sampling all the games, but then I went to the timeline, and man, I'm enjoying it. Especially like as a kid, really games just kind of came from nowhere. Like they just appeared, and you didn't give too much thought into like who created them or where they were and whatever. And then after I think it was probably after I moved to Chicago that I realized Midway Games was in Chicago, and so I was always like, oh yeah, that's cool. You always think of games as maybe being like East Coast or West Coast or whatever, but right there in Chicago in the Midwest. We had a great game studio, and aside from that, a great pinball presence there, which Bally Midway. In any case, watching this documentary is also just like heartwarming for someone who lived in Chicago and for 10 years, just to see what a Chicago story Mortal Kombat is. I've been really enjoying that. Doc Mack is in there, and they did a lot of the filming for the documentary at Galloping Ghost. And,
oh yeah,
Yep.
I think they did most of the interviews there from what I saw. They even even the announcement of the game showed like footage from Galloping Ghost. I remember that.
Yep. Yeah. So I love this, man. I hope they just keep making these packages forever, just because there was something really special to me. I'll get every one of them. As of now, I have every one of them. Going back to the Disney collection, I think that's where it started, right? The Disney collection, and then
yeah, the Disney collection doesn't have any footage though, right? It doesn't have any interview.
What's that?
The Disney collection doesn't have any development stuff in it or videos.
No, it doesn't have. Well, it has like sketches, and it does have like. I'm sure if I saw that at the time, it would have felt like, wow, this is a really meaty package. But they just kept outdoing themselves, Yeah, compared to where they are now, it's rudimentary, but you can see like it's definitely more than just a collection of games. Yeah, yep. And anyway, I've got all of their documentary games now, and I can't wait for whatever the next one is. I'm still a little unclear on why they didn't call this part of the Gold Master collection. Because
same.
I mean, it's like you might have said, oh, with Karateka and then the Jeff Minter games, it's like, oh, they're going for like more obscure kind of maybe forgotten things from a long time ago. But then they put out the Tetris collection, which is just, oh, that negates that argument. That's the most popular game ever, and that's part of the Gold Master collection. But then the next one after that was Mortal Kombat, and that's its own thing, apparently, not a Gold Master game. I just don't get the branding for it.
Maybe it's because they're publishing it for them, or
Maybe.
I don't know. That is strange.
Yeah, I don't know why they left it out of that, but I thought because it wasn't set up exactly the same, but you're saying it's pretty similar.
It's set up the same.
I don't remember seeing any, or maybe I just didn't find it. I don't remember seeing any gameplay stuff. All I saw was just footage. It's like, here's the footage and here's the gameplay. But maybe they changed that since they released it. So when you played it,
you mean in Mortal Kombat?
In the collection, yeah. Like it didn't sound like the Atari one that you had where they like told you a thing and then you played something. Like it was, from what I gathered, from what I could find, it was just like, here's a bunch of videos and here's where the gameplay is over here. They're not.
Oh
together.
Yeah, no, it's. So I think maybe the front menu is sort of arranged a little different in the Mortal Kombat one. Like the option number one is basically play the games in the Mortal Kombat one, where and then the documentary, they call it the crypt in this one, and that's the timeline in Atari 50 and all the others.
Yeah, I mean I found that there. I mean, yeah, I'm familiar with the crypt. It's been
so
the past 7 games, but different now.
So that's like it's presented, as like number 3 on the list or whatever of things on that first menu, whereas in Atari and all the other games, the timeline is front and center what they push you to. So I guess that is a little bit different. It may be warranted, being that this Mortal Kombat collection has so many games and so many games that are so like meaty and have a lot of depth to them, so maybe that's a good idea for a series like Mortal Kombat, versus say Karateka, which was just one game that by today's standards is a little thin. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really say enough about Digital Eclipse and what they're doing. Do more of it. I can't wait for the next one. It's been a while since this one. This was October of last year.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like it's time for an announcement on what's next.
8 months or
I want to
something.
know what they do next.
I mean, I think they've been spending all the time in between fixing this one, because if you don't remember, when it came out, it was pretty broken. as far as the gameplay goes. Aside from the footage, they got a lot of shit for having the game completely unplayable online. But also there was a big thing with delay and all that a lot of people complained about. So they did have to take a lot of time fixing this version, and they have added a lot more from what I can tell. Like they added a cross-play now, which wasn't there originally, and they added some more like options for putting the moves on the screen. Like, well, they did that before, but now you can do combos, which I complained about that when this came out on this very show, and they finally did that. So good on them. I haven't played it since then. Actually, I haven't really played it since, I don't know, November of last year or something.
As somebody who's not a fighting game person, I have to say I really like the sort of efforts they've made to reach out to people like me with this game, where the training modes I feel like are really good. Like you can there's a mode specifically for the fatalities, where she'll just show you how to do the fatalities, and it'll show you on the bottom what buttons you are pressing versus what buttons you should be pressing. And I feel like you can actually learn how to play Mortal Kombat really well through this series.
Also,
this edition,
really, really cool stuff that it did was like say you want to play like the Genesis version, but you don't want to put the blood code in. You can just like switch that on before you start the game, which I thought was really, really cool. Like any sort of like code that you want to put in the game, you could just choose it at the beginning on a menu instead of putting the buttons in. Plus, also my favorite thing is you can like make a fatality time infinite, so you have all the time in the world to do the fatality, so you don't run out of time to do it, which is really nice, because then you can take a second to pause and look at what it is, and then do it, and then you're good to go, and then you can rewind it if you fucked it up also, and go back and do it again. So there's a lot of leniency in there for the moves and whatnot.
Yeah, but Jeremy, you're into these documentary games too. Like, what do you think about the Mortal Kombat one? Do you think you'll get that?
Probably not. But maybe if it's on sale, like super cheap someday.
For less, for 15.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even just Mortal Kombat. I'm just not really into fighting games that much. So for me, it's sort of a lost cause. Like maybe I'll find some of it interesting, but not enough to want to buy it.
It's a fun game. I mean, I'm glad they finally did it, because the Mortal Kombat games they'd never really released in any way aside from like arcade 1-up, machines or whatever. But I wanted it on consoles, and this is the best way to do it, with the extra footage and all that.
I think it's cool they've got like the obscure handheld games too.
Yeah, I really appreciate
some
that.
of them. There's still like, there's still some weird omissions in there, but I was
Wonder Swan or something like that. Yeah.
No. I mean, there's only like some Game Boy games. Like, so not all of them have, like, maybe there's one Game Gear version on there out of all of them, out of like the 10 games that are on there. Like, there's really weird, like, where they have one thing here and not one thing on the other thing. And there's like no console version of the 64 of the arcade of Mortal Kombat 4. Like, there's all this weird stuff that's missing, which I figured I'd hope they would add later. And that's kind of
There's
what
the PlayStation Mythologies, but not the 64 one.
Yeah. You get the PlayStation Mythologies and not 64. Same with Trilogy. You don't get the 64 Trilogy, which had different characters in it than this PlayStation one. It's like there was big differences from them. And the handhelds are like kind of few and far between. Like I think there's only like one Game Gear. I think it's like just Mortal Kombat 2 or something like that, and none of the other ones have it. So it's really weird. Like why
there's a couple of Mortal
that
Kombat,
one and not the other one?
There's a couple of advanced ones. I think there's 3 on the advance.
Well, they have the GameCube ones on the advanced version of that, which is weird. Like Deadly Alliance and Deception is on there on the Game Boy Advance version, probably because the GameCube one would be way too big to put on there. But so that's interesting. But yeah, but then there's like some Game Boy. It's just weird. Like I just wanted it to be there for everything,
I liked getting to play Mortal Kombat 4. I'd never got to play that before. I was always kind of curious about it. The first one to go into 3D.
I didn't make you play it on 64. I like that game a lot.
Maybe you did. I don't know. I
probably
never really got deep into it anyway.
Me and Trevor Dowdy used to play that in Trevi D. We used to play that in college. We played a lot of Mortal Kombat 4 because it's a fun game. I like that game a lot. And it was better. The console version is better because the arcade doesn't have Goro in it. It doesn't have the 3D Goro, but the 3D Goro was only in the console. And the 64 one actually had an extra level that wasn't in the arcade. So it's weird. It's weird to play the arcade when you played the console one so much because Goro's just not there. Like they made this really cool 3D Goro model, and he's just not in the game. Like they added him in the 64 one later and not the arcade. So it's like I saw a lot of people online being like, "Where the fuck is Goro?" It's like, "Oh well, he wasn't in the arcade." And I was like, "Oh, weird." So there's not really. I mean, you fight like Shinnok, but you don't. But there's no like big boss guy before him, like you have in all the other games. So it felt really weird. It always felt kind of short, but those endings are amazing. So you should watch some of those. The fully voice acted Mortal Kombat 4 endings are great.
Yeah, that's really the only thing that I played this week. I didn't get into Tomodachi. Like I kind of hoped to get back to it, but I ran out of time this week.
Your Miis are starving.
I know
they're not
really,
eating. They're dying.
Me.
Their stomachs are empty. You have to feed them. That's what happens, right? They starve to death when you're not there. I mean, not to death, but they just suffer. They're suffering right now.
They take care of each other.
Yeah, they eat each other while you're gone. They're cutting their arms off and feeding them to each other.
It's absolute chaos.
That's what's happening.
Let them watch Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, I say it. It's like Lord of the Flies on Tomodachi Life. They're watching the new version or something. I think there's a new Lord of the Flies out. I don't know.
There is, yeah.
There is.
I haven't seen it, but I saw that it existed. But that's cool that you got that. Yeah, that's a good game. I like it. So to
that's all for me.
Get your fatalities in and whatnot. Did you take a trip to GameStop? Did you go try to get any of the GameStop stuff? Because I did.
No, I went online to try and get something, but yeah.
Oh, because I saw it from Wario 64. There was a huge sale, a bunch of different games for $15, but the major ones were Mario and Luigi Brothership and Mario RPG or Super Mario RPG. And I went just because I had to go get my license renewed because of my birthday, because that's when it expired. So
Right.
After I did that, I was like, I'm going to drive around and go to like some of the GameStops around this area that I live, because I don't really like. I've driven past them, and I think there was one I had gone into, but it was on another thing I was working on. It wasn't when I lived over here. But so I went to 2 different GameStops just to see if I could find anything, because I looked online and it said that none of them were available within 100 miles of me, and I was like, that can't be right. That's weird, because like every game I looked up that was on sale, it said there wasn't within 100 miles of me, and I was like, that doesn't sound right.
Could you not get it shipped?
Well, I could have ordered Mario and Luigi Brothership. I just waited too long.
Okay.
It sold out as of Sunday, from what I heard from the GameStop guy, and I had it in a cart.
I think I did too.
I had it in the cart Saturday night or something, and I just didn't do it because I didn't want to pay the $10 shipping. I was like, I just want to get it. I'll go get it, and then I don't have to pay the shipping. So that was my idea. I was like, well, if I can find it, I'll get it. And I did. I didn't. But I went to like 2 different places on 87th. Like one of them's next to there's like a Potbelly over there, and there's the other one on Cicero. Anyway, it was cool to actually go into those places and look around. And I asked the guy at the one on 87th and Halstead or whatever. And he said that they sold out of Mario and Luigi's on Sunday. And I checked online, and the online said they were completely gone. So I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe everybody sold out on Sunday at some point. So, but
now everyone's going to play it and love it.
But I mean, I looked through some of the games there, and there, like I said, there was other stuff on sale for $15. I found the Marvel Arcade Collection for $15. That's on sale too for $15 right now from GameStop. I found that in the wild. I already have it, so I don't need to get it. But they have that, and there's a deal if you buy two used games, you get $10 off also. So if you find anything used, you get $5 each off the games, which is cool. But I just kind of looked through to try to figure out which ones were on sale, because there was a big list of them that Wario 64 put out. And then like the next day after I went to GameStop, they posted that Metroid Prime 4 is on sale for like $30 now too. But it wasn't when I was there, because I looked at all the games. I looked at the Switch 1 games and the Switch 2 games, and there I think it was I noticed that like the Deus Ex Machina or whatever, that game was on sale. And and I saw that one was cut down, and I think they were selling like Final Fantasy Remake for like $40, or maybe it was $30. I think It was
Maybe
lower.
they're trying to be more like eBay, and
it was lower.
Something go up.
Yeah, maybe it was lower than I thought it would be, but I didn't see any sales on Metroid Prime. They must have done it like the day after I was there, because apparently Metroid Prime and Legends ZA are both supposed to be selling for $30 at GameStop.
That I might get.
So get on it if you want it. Order it now, before it disappears. But yeah, I didn't really. I looked at the Amiibo. I realized how insanely gigantic those Mario Galaxy Amiibo are. They had those.
Yep, really big.
I should have taken a picture of it. I mean, John, you did. You took a picture from Target and posted it on Slack, but I hadn't seen one in real life. And it was like, they had them all on the wall, and it's like, here's Rosalina, and then there's like Amiibo next to her, and it's like Rosalina's the size of like 4 Amiibo stuck together, like in a cube.
Right.
It's so fucking huge. I was like,
when
wow, that's gigantic.
When I was at Target, I think she was next to like a Zelda amiibo and something else. No, she just looked like She-Hulk, like the size comparison wise.
Yeah, I don't know why they're so gigantic, but they're $35 and they're huge. So at least it's huge, But it was funny because they had like, here's the big Rosalina, and then they had the little ones next to it, and it was like 2 of them were like the size of the Rosalina. So you could probably stick 4 of them together, and it would fit within the Rosalina box. And I was like, wow, this is ridiculous. But I did
Still
find
expensive to me. I feel like those large ones, like maybe I'd feel good paying like $25 to $30 for those. I still don't feel good about it though.
Yeah, I mean they're too big. Doesn't matter what price. I don't want them. They're gigantic. But but it was nice to see how fucking huge it is. I did find a Donkey Kong amiibo used, like a Donkey Kong Bonanza used one for like $25, but I don't know. I always feel weird about buying used amiibo from GameStop, because what if I get it and I pull it out of the bag and it falls and it like breaks in half or something? I don't know. You never know. And I went to the second GameStop that I went to. They had their used amiibo in like these little tiny boxes, and like if they had any sort of like weapon or whatever, it was all like bent. It was all like fucked up. So like they had like the Byleth from the Fire Emblem, like in this tiny box, and like the sword was all like bent over because of the tiny
Pushed into the box.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like you're packing these wrong. Like you're like ruining all your amiibo, because all their like same with like they had one with Rosalina where his wand was all like drooped over because it was stuck in this box that wasn't big enough for it. It was like, what the hell is this? So yeah, some of the presentation was pretty hilarious. But the second GameStop I went to on Cicero, I did actually find one of the games I was looking for. It wasn't Mario and Luigi, but I did find, and it was the final copy. There were 2 games that I wanted. I wanted Mario and Luigi, and the other one was Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. And here it is with the price on it, $15, and the sale, because this was the last box that they had. So I bought.
What is that for? Is it PSP?
Well,
for the Switch.
I mean, it was originally for PSP, but this is the new version that came out in 2022 for Nintendo Switch. This is a Switch. This is a Switch game.
Okay.
No, they don't. I mean, they haven't added any retro stuff to GameStop yet. Like, you can't buy PlayStation Portable games there right now. They say that they will eventually, but no.
I think I was thinking PS Vita, but yeah.
Well, those aren't there either. they only have, that's still like 2 generations ago.
Right.
But no, this game was a game that I've been wanting to check out. I think it sells for like 50 or 60 normally. And it was a PlayStation Portable game that came out in 2007, and they basically. It's a prequel to the Final Fantasy VII story. So you play as Zack, who's one of the soldiers, one of the guys in the soldier group that works for Shinra and all that, and you work with Sephiroth and Cloud. I haven't gotten to Cloud yet, but I've seen plenty of talk of Sephiroth. And it was back in the day when I had my, I still have my PSP, but when I was like into looking for like specific really good games for PSP, I always heard great things about Crisis Core. Like that was always up there pretty high for like one of the highest, like most valued game or whatever, the one that people like the most. They'd always talk about Crisis Core, so it always was in the back of my mind. And then in between like Final Fantasy Remake and Rebirth, they released Crisis Core Final Fantasy Reunion is what it's called now, but they actually like changed it a little bit. Like they updated the graphics to make it look more similar to Final Fantasy Remake and Final Fantasy Rebirth. So if you play it, like having played it after playing Rebirth for a while and playing Remake for a while, it kind of feels like the controls are sort of the same. Like it's very similar, and like they changed the art style. I even looked on Wikipedia. They did actually change the graphics of the game to make it more contemporary and make it look more like the newer Final Fantasy games, which is really cool. Like, not that many people do that or give a shit to actually like update the game and have this be like a newer version of it, you know, like however many years later. Like, I think it was originally released like 10 years, the 10-year anniversary for Final Fantasy VII, but it's cool. It's cool that they brought it back. And it's like it has like pretty much the same the battle style for the most part as the Final Fantasy remake, like it's action combat and all that. And you basically go on like little mini missions where you fight people with Zack, and you only have one character, so it's harder than the other ones because if you get knocked out, you're dead. You know, you don't have anybody who can revive you or whatever. But I had some pretty intense battles on there. I was just kind of going through. Well, I went through like one of the main level, one of the main story levels. But there's a bunch of like side missions that I was doing, and one of them had this like super hard boss that took me a long time to get through. But I had to roll around and do a lot of dodging and healing and whatever. And there's this like roulette wheel that goes that's supposed to be about your memories or whatever. I forget what it's called, but if it lands on like on a picture of a person, like if you get 3 Sephiroths, you get like a special Sephiroth move that you can do on the guy. Or if you get like 3 Clouds, you get a different move for that. And it's like all these different characters. And also it can like give you like unlimited magic power, like unlimited AP is like what you do like your regular attacks with. And there's like stuff that'll do just from this constant roulette wheel that keeps moving, and they'll give you like power-ups from what it lands on, which is interesting. You know, there's that. And yeah, it's cool. I've been having fun with it. I put like 3 hours into it or so. Like I haven't got to play it for that much, but I liked it a lot more than I thought I would. Like, it's always been like kind of on my mental wish list, but I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to get into it because I don't know that much about Final Fantasy, or at least I used to not know that much about Final Fantasy VII aside from beating the PlayStation 1 version. But yeah, it's cool. It fits really well into the remake stuff. Like if you're playing the remake and Rebirth and all that, it's really cool how they updated it and made it like a part of that series. So now it's considered like the second game pretty much. Like there's remake and integrate, and then there's reunion, and then there's Rebirth. Like they all kind of, you know, they all like came out in a row, and it was supposed to be within that universe or whatever. So it's cool. And $15 is a great way to get it. And I didn't have to pay shipping at all. And this was new. I mean, it's, you know, GameStop, like that always annoyed me where it's like, it's new, but it's opened. You know, it's like, here's the last one. I was like, well, it's not actually new because you opened it, like to put it on the shelf or whatever. And I actually did. I used to be a dick about that, and I would get them to give me discounts sometimes if they sold me the show floor one, because I'd be like, "Come on, you opened it. It's used. Give me the used price."
I mean, if you were trying to sell it to them, and you're saying, "Oh, it's new, but it's opened," like,
yeah,
they'd be like, "Yeah, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, it's not. There's no plastic on it. Like, come on, you know. I mean, it would have saved me like $1. Like, it's fine. I didn't need to make a fuss about it, but I do think it's annoying. But it's nice that I kept the sale price on there just because I think it's funny. But what was cool? I mean, this one was actually like shown, you know. But what was cool is they actually put like these sale stickers, so they would poke out. So if you wanted to see which games were $15, they're like the little sticker was sticking out. So that was what one GameStop had that the other one didn't. Because I didn't know which games were on sale. Because there's like 20 some games that are all like $15 that they're selling. But they had these little tabs, so you could like see which ones they had that were 15. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, everyone should do that. But yeah, that was my GameStop.
Someone's getting a bonus.
that was my GameStop adventure there. But it was fun to drive around and see those GameStops that I've driven past so many times and actually walk in them and be like, hey, you're still here. I'm sorry, your CEO sucks. But the workers were nice. They were nice enough. But what else? I beat E's Memoire, Revelations in Celceta. I said that last week that I was going to beat it 2 hours after the podcast, and I did. So I got to the credits on that, I held up my word on that. And
yeah,
also,
you did. I seen it live.
Yeah, you saw it. You pointed out that it
live.
was right. It was 2 hours exactly after the podcast, pretty much, because that's how much I imagined was left in that final dungeon there. And yeah, I didn't have a whole lot left to do. So I did that. I got through that. So cool. And then right after that, I went back into Final Fantasy Rebirth demo, and I didn't have very much left in that either. Like, I finished that pretty quick. I ended up finishing like a little bit under 14 hours, and 14 hours for a demo is pretty cool. There was like one Chadley mission that I couldn't do because in order to do it, I would have had to have scanned all of the monsters in the world, and I didn't understand what scanning the monsters meant because I never played Remake and I don't know anything about that. So I didn't scan anything. And it's like, oh yeah, you have to scan 16 monsters. And I'm like, oh. So I kind of ran around and scanned like a couple of them. And I'm like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to go track down every monster that I fought and scan them. It's much easier when you're just playing the game and you just scan everybody that you find. You know, it's like Metroid, you know?
Yeah.
So I didn't go back and do that, but I did finish the demo. There's a boss at the end, of course. And you know, it's like the snake boss thing that Sephiroth like kills. Like he kills it off screen in the original one, but I always remember that part because
you find the dead one.
Yeah, because you find the dead one, but you see him kill it this time, of course, because they flesh out everything in these games, you know. So I beat that, and then I started Remake. Well, I played the demo of Remake first because if you play the demo, you get bonuses on the regular game. So I did the Intergrade demo, which is like an hour. It's like the first. It's the same thing that I played on PlayStation 4, but I just played it on Switch again, which I'm glad that I did because they give you like 3 extra summons like right off the bat if you do the demo. So you can summon like Cactuar, which is cool. Any Final Fantasy fan knows about Cactuar. It's a little cactus dude. It's always been kind of a joke on there.
Yeah.
There's a baby. You can summon like a baby chocobo, and there was another creature that I didn't really
Carbuncle.
Yeah. Do you know what a carbuncle is?
I thought it was like a fire thing.
It's like a little dog. It's like a little dog
never
thing, but I didn't recognize it. But they're like mini summons that you can do before you get like Ifrit and Shiva. I just got Ifrit and Shiva. So
do you have to finish the demo to get them, or do you just pick up from the demo?
I don't think you do. I was just reading on like Reddit, and I think you just need to have a save from the demo, and that's it. I don't think you have to play through all of it.
Okay.
But the demo's like, I mean, it took me like 50 minutes to get through it. It's less than an hour, but I think as long as you have a save from the demo, it carries over. And I think same with, because you'll get bonuses. You also get bonuses from having a save from Rebirth, from Remake into Rebirth and all that. So and from Intergrade. So I'm trying to build up all of my saves for when Rebirth comes out at the beginning of next month. So
Makes sense.
That's my plan. But I've been playing a lot of Remake. I got like 16 hours into Final Fantasy VII Remake. It goes like back and forth. Like there's a lot of times that I'm like, oh, I really love this game. Like it looks really, really good. I think it's one of the best looking games on Switch too. Like it wows me constantly, like from area to area. And from what I heard, it's based more on the PS5 version than the PS4 version or whatnot. But it looks great. Like it does look really, really good. And there's this whole factory area, you know, where you're blowing up like the Mako whatever factory. That was like the first level that you did in the original game. Like all that stuff is really fun. Like I love doing that. And I fought like this giant like robot boss, and you get to go through all these different like computer areas before you get there. And they're sending all these different weapons to the monster or to the robot, and you can like get on the computer and stop them, and you can like change the way the robot will be when you get to it to try to, like, they won't let you stop everything, but you could stop like whatever you want. It'll be like, oh, if you don't send this AI system to it, it'll be slower, or if it doesn't get this bomb, it can't hit you with this bomb. Like you can do stuff to tweak the robot that you fight later to make it like easier. So that's really cool. Like I found that fun. And there's like 3 or 4 different rooms that you go through, and you'll get like one key card, and there'll be like 3 different computers that have different options that you can stop from going to. And you can collect these items too, and you can use them against the boss after. Which that part, actually getting into the room where the stuff was really annoying, because there's this game where you have to move these levers at the same time. So like Tifa's moving the 2 in the middle, and Barrett and Cloud are doing the 2 on the left and the right, but you move your analog sticks in a certain way. And I don't know what it was, but the timing like kept being off, and it was just driving me nuts, because like every time you mess up, they'll say a different thing, but it's like shut up, like just let me try it again. And Barrett will be like, no, maybe we gotta wait and do this, and I'm like, dude, shut up, just let me try this again. And there was just one. It took me like 10 times. It was just driving me nuts. I was like, this is so dumb. Why is this here? But I got it through, thankfully. Like I said, there's parts that I love, and then there's stuff like this that is like, this is so stupid. And there's just like stuff that is just like, that just feels like weird fluff, that it's like, why is this here? Like I did all this shit with the robot, and I was like, oh, this is great. You know, I beat the robot, and then Cloud like falls off of the factory, and he lands in the church with Aerith, and then you have this whole side story thing with Aerith where you walk around this whole other area and talk about flowers and shit. And I was like, what happened to like Tifa and Barrett? Like, I want to go back to them, but like 5 hours later, or whatever, I finally saw Tifa again, but she's like in some sort of beauty competition for Cornet or whatever. It's just all this weird shit that I don't even know. Like, you know, like I said, it's got its ups and downs. Like there'll be parts where I was like, wow, this is awesome. And it's also like, why do I have to do this? Like, why I have to talk to one guy and then talk to 4 other guys and then talk to this other guy. It's like, why are you making me run around and do all this shit? You know, it's like, yeah, some of it feels, I know people said that they thought Rebirth was a little too much, but I think Remake's got some pretty stupid shit in it. I don't love it as much as I loved Rebirth yet, because I love the open world stuff of Rebirth, and the open world isn't really here. But the stuff that you have looks incredible. Like the areas look amazing, and I've really gotten used to the combat and all that, even though it's, you know, it makes me wanna. I wish they would like re-release like Final Fantasy 15 and 16. I never played 16, but I wouldn't mind giving another stab at 15. Like 15 was like the first PlayStation 4 game that I got, and I never beat it because the battle system was too weird. I mean, it was kind of like, it was actiony, but not. It was like, I don't know, somewhere between turn-based and action, but not enough on either one where I kind of never really understood exactly what was happening. And you had a magic bombs that you threw, which is basically kind of the way magic works now. You know, you just pick it out of a menu and you do it, and that's that. But that one you had to like collect magic items instead of like using your magic meter, which is similar to like Final Fantasy VIII, which I also didn't like that either, really. But whatever. But yeah, no, my plan is to beat Final Fantasy Remake before Rebirth comes out at the beginning of June. So at this rate, I think I can do it. But yeah, it's a cool ass game. Try the demo. I mean, I know Jeremy and I already did, but try it again if you want to see how cool it is. I'm just surprised I've gotten into it as much as I have, because I didn't really care that much about the Final Fantasy game, or the PlayStation 1 game, the first one. But I also got the Adventures of Elliot demo came out. Well, and another one. You know, I played the demo before, but this one is actually the game. This is the beginning of the game, and it carries into the game, to the full game. It's the prologue, which is the first 2-3 hours of the game, something like that. So I recommend that both of you play it, because it's really pretty. I played about 50 minutes of it, like today, just right before we started recording, and it's a pretty ass game. It totally feels like Zelda a lot. There feels like there's like some changes that I don't remember from the other demo. Like so far, I haven't found the fairy, but the princess, her name is like Princess Horia or something like that. She like enchants your earrings, and she's like with you. She like talks to you while you're walking around and doing your stuff. So she kind of feels like the replacement for the fairy. And you can heal yourself. Like she'll heal you, but it's like timed, you know, you can heal and then you have to wait for it to come back. So you can't like infinitely heal yourself. Mm-hmm. But it's all, it's an action game. It's not an action RPG. There's no leveling up in it at all. I already bought a boomerang, which feels very much like Zelda, except you can charge the boomerang, which is cool. If you hold it longer, it goes farther and it's more powerful. And you can kill people with the boomerang instead of just like instead of just stunning them like you would in A Link to the Past. It looks really good. I went through the first dungeon, the very first dungeon. I find it really weird that you can't roll yet. Like I can't dodge. Like after playing so much of Ease and like Final Fantasy 7, where like you have to constantly roll to get out of the way. All I can do is jump. Like there's no way for me to move, like to dodge. Like I can block it with a shield, or I can jump. I remember the other one had like a Pegasus boots type thing, which I'm sure you can get later, but I really miss the roll ability. It's like, why can't we roll around here? Like, I don't know. It feels strange when I'm
modern.
It just feels weird for it to not be there, especially like, you know, I roll like crazy in Ease. You know, you can actually go faster when you roll on that. But yeah, but I like it so far. What I played of it, it's another game about an orphan that likes orphans. It's another Yakuza game. Here it is, another one. Same thing with the Pragmata, where the orphan dad raises orphan kid. It's like this one is the same. He doesn't like take care of the orphans, but he grew up there, and he like he supports them. And the first mission that you do is finding this memorable comb for like the old guy that takes care of the orphans at the orphanage or whatever, and all the orphans love you. And then you see like you walk by this gravestone, and you're like, that's where I was found as a baby, and the guy who had me died there, and that's his gravestone. And it's like, all right. It's like, but they could not identify him. They don't know if it's my dad or not. So I'm an orphan, and I grew up here, and I love orphans. I don't know. It reminds me of, it's like Kiryu all over again. So
The comb reminds me of that Five Iron Frenzy song.
Oh yeah, they had a song about a comb, right? I haven't heard that.
Yeah, it's about like the song's about like it's a metaphor of when his sister threw the comb out the window. Like that was like the last he remembers of his parents still being together before they got divorced and stuff like that.
No, maybe that's why Elliot had to get.
But the dad's like, we're not going back to get it. Like it's just a comb.
Yeah, that means it's over. The relationship is over now. Fuck the comb. But yeah, it was I was confused about it because they said that the demo was out, but I couldn't. I kept checking the website, but you couldn't get it through the app. You had to get it from the actual console, which is so weird when they do that. But I don't know.
It's something that I encountered pretty much every week when I'm doing the outline is like there's always discrepancies between
the app and
the website, the app, and then on the system itself. Like it'll happen all the time. I'm on the website and it says this game just came out. Oh, not available for downloading. Wait, what? What do you mean? That's just on the website. But you go on the system and it's fine. Or one that I discovered today. Getting to something we'll talk about a little bit later, was Yoshi and the Mysterious Book.
Yeah.
There's a difference between the release dates on the website.
Oh, really?
And on the app.
Because it should be out. It should be out right now or out in like 8 minutes.
Well, the website said on the 20th, and then the app said on the 21st, if I had that right. Maybe it's vice versa. Oh, weird. But that's the first one that I encountered like that. The release dates are different depending on the platform that you're viewing it on.
Yeah, it's really. I always use the like Switch eShop because that'll show me like what's coming up for the week because it's hard for me to just look at coming soon on the app. Like there's no way to find that, so that's how I look for like the weekly titles and whatnot. But yeah, it was driving me crazy because it's like Elliot demo out now, and I checked on the app and I was like, no, it's not out. And then Wario 64 said out only on the console, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I turned it on and I was like, there it was. I was like, all right, whatever. So dumb. But I also, like I've said before, the app never works for me. Whenever I say download, it never works. It's never worked. I don't know. I know it works for everyone else, but not for me. Like it
worked for me.
It won't do it. It's so annoying. So I just stopped doing it. I just do it on my Switch because it never does it. I'll say like download now, and then I go to it and nothing's happened. I mean, if I buy it, it's still bought, but it doesn't download it on its own. It's like, okay, thanks a lot, jerk.
It'll be something with having multiple accounts. Like, do you have multiple accounts on your Switch, or some kind of thing between that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's when I'm online, I'm under my profile. I'm not like online as a different profile. If that was the case, then I would be buying it for a different profile. It's still bought from my profile, but it won't download. It just won't do it. It just won't connect to the system. Won't do it without me physically doing it. It's annoying.
Very weird.
Yeah, it never works. So yeah, but I think that's most of my stuff. I did listen to Nintendo Music again just because we never mentioned it, but they did put like most of the new Star Fox soundtrack on there. I don't know if you guys checked that out, but it's cool.
I don't know.
I mean, it's the same as they put it up like right after the Direct, and there's like a half an hour worth of music there, which is probably most of the soundtrack.
Is it orchestrated?
Yeah, it is. It's they're the wolf, the Star Wolf theme is on there. Like they have like Canaria. There's like stuff from the mission, like the briefing. Like if you played the 64 game, they're exactly the same. The songs are the same. They're just, they're better now. They're you can tell that they have a lot more. Yeah, they're fully orchestrated. They got a lot more. They sound a lot more expensive than it did before. It sounds like they got. But yeah, if you want to listen to it,
like more plush,
sure.
The music sounds more free.
Yeah,
I can't feel the furriness of it, but it feels real. But no, it's cool. I I wish I like they should do that for everything. I mean, I hadn't been on Nintendo Music in a long time, but I think last time I was on there when they put Kirby Air Riders songs out before the game was out. Like same thing, like right after one of the guys' directs, he was like, "Oh, it's on there." But yeah, I did that. I listened to it for once, and it was cool. I listened to the Yoshi whatever, the Yoshi Story soundtrack because I like that soundtrack, and it's on there. And also, I'm like, I was like, oh, I could listen to a bunch of Star Fox songs. It's like, no, I can't, because there's only Star Fox 64 and the Star Fox 64 remake, some of it. Why is the Super Nintendo soundtrack not on there? That soundtrack is so good. Like
It is.
It really like disappointed me. It wasn't there. I thought maybe it was, but it was not there. I was like, that soundtrack's a
Probably in
banger.
the lead up.
Yeah.
They'll put it out there in the lead up to the release.
Maybe I get surprised all the time by how little of the mainstay stuff is on there. I know they add stuff every week, but a lot of times I'll be like, oh yeah, no, I'll listen to this and this, and then there's only like one game. There's only like one Metroid game on there. I'm like, what? You got like a bunch. Like I don't know. I figured there'd be more, but yeah, the Star Fox stuff was cool, and the Yoshi's soundtrack. I love it because it's got the rap song on there and it's got the ska song. Those are my two favorite songs: the Yoshi rap and the ska song.
I don't think I've ever heard the Yoshi rap.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, it's just him. He's like Yoshi, Yoshi. It's funny. It's the fun thing about Yoshi's Story is it's pretty much the same song over and over again in a bunch of different styles. Is the way it works. So they're all pretty much the same song, but there's like the ska version and there's the rap one and there's like.
Super Mario World's kind of like that too.
Yeah. No, I guess Mario World does too, where it's kind of like the same rhythm but in different ways, right? Even like the dungeon, the Bowser stuff is like the same theme but like slowed down,
Yeah.
So, and like the Luigi's Mansion was kind of like that too, where you have the same theme throughout, but it's played differently depending on where you're at. And Luigi hums to it when he's scared.
So it's a little more dynamic there.
Yeah. He hums to it when he's scared. But yeah, that's me. Oh yeah, and I did preload Yoshi in the Mysterious Book because Jess got me the money for it for my birthday, which was yesterday. So happy birthday to me, free listeners.
Happy birthday.
All you patrons. The Patreons already know about it, but it was my birthday.
I already sang yesterday, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. You did, yeah. It's like we just did this. But what do you got, Jeremy?
Kind of more of the same, but I did complete the big thing I wanted to do in Pokopia that was left was I wanted to complete the big mural that you have to find 27 pieces, and you can't just find them all at once. Like it takes a while to find them. It's like the fossils in Animal Crossing, pretty much. In fact, there's fossils too. I've got almost all the fossils as well. I'm missing like one or two, I think, but I think I might be done now. I don't know what else to do. I've gotten most of my levels are at like either 7 or 8, and I think 10's the max. And I've gotten to where I don't really see a lot of new Pokemon because they're the rare ones that show up less often. So it's like I don't know. I'll probably check in on it once in a while, but I just kind of have lost my steam. I think if it had a social element, that'd be different. I think that's what it's missing.
Does it not? Is there not?
I mean,
a way
I guess
to,
it
to
does,
share your
but
stuff?
I'm not really like it's not like Animal Crossing where everyone I knew was playing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So in this case, like no one I know really plays Pokopia. Yeah, in my like personal life. So
Not either of us. No.
it's just kind of hanging out for now, but maybe I'll come back to it eventually and want to have more fun with it if they add more stuff. But it was a good time. I put plenty of time into it. I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't really feel like making everything look really nice. I don't care that much. I had fun with it. It was good.
But yeah, you don't care. You don't need to redesign any of the homes or anything like that. Is what you're saying?
No, there's one more legendary Pokemon that I know how to get, and I can't get it yet because I have to like get all the items together. And I used to have the items, but I sold them or I exchanged them before I knew I needed them. So that kind of sucks. I have to like get them again. And they're kind of like the fossils where they just show up randomly. And you got to collect them over the span of several days. So that's going to take a while. But yeah, it's a good game. I look forward to more in the franchise, hopefully, or more DLC or if there was a more robust online mode somehow introduced and more people I knew was playing it. It's a cool place to live in, Pokopia.
Pokopia.
One thing I did notice, though, I was like, okay, well, I'm probably going to stop getting those pieces because there's 27 of them and they were never repeats, which was great. So I'm like, well, there's a finite number of these. You complete it. I won't ruin what it is, but it was pretty cool, I guess. And then I started like finding more mysterious slate pieces, and I'm like, oh shit, there must be another one somewhere that I have to find, but it's not. It's the same pieces, so you just start collecting them again. So if you wanted, you could like make this mural elsewhere, but it would have no purpose, I don't think, other than just being a decoration. And now that I've gotten all the 27 original pieces, sometimes I'll get an extra of one. So I've got like multiple of some of the pieces. So anyway, whatever. It's not that important, but maybe if I could share them with people and trade them for cool stuff, they would make sense to keep in my inventory.
You can get online and trade with random people, like we did for. I remember trying that for Animal Crossing.
For the fossils, yeah.
For the, I did it for turnips and stuff. But a lot of times for like Animal Crossing groups or whatever, there's like too many people would come into the town at the same time, and it would like glitch, and I couldn't move, and so I only did that like once or twice because it never worked. Because it was like me and like 20 other people trying to do it, and it just kind of froze the game. So I was like, all right, well, this sucks.
So anyway, that's it for that game for now. But I played more Requiem this week. I didn't really make much progress, but that's just because I'm kind of daft with these games. Like I was trying to creep around and do things right, and then I remembered I'm in casual mode, so I decided I was just gonna like slice all the zombies up, and I was able to do that.
The knife.
So now they're all dead.
The knife still breaks though, right? In the casual.
Yeah,
mode?
it does. It does.
It probably just takes longer because I know after you beat the game, you can buy an unbreakable knife.
Yeah, I have like a couple extra ones too, so they're very generous with those. And so I don't know. I wandered around. I killed everything I could, and I feel like I've done everything I can do, and I'm still missing like a couple pieces to progress, and I can't find them. So I've just been kind of wandering around in circles, and hopefully I figure out a way to advance. But one thing I thought I'd mentioned that I thought was cool, and I hadn't noticed it in any other games on the Switch 2, or the PlayStation for that matter. But when you're like walking as Grace, you could feel like her footsteps in the handles of the controller, like the
with the HD rumble.
Plus, yeah, the HD rumble. That's what.
Yeah,
like you can feel like each step she takes, which is kind of cool. I like that.
That's but do you not feel that like with Leon, or are you saying like her footsteps feel different than Leon's? What do you mean?
Oh, I just didn't. I didn't notice until
probably
recently that it was happening. But so whenever I get back to the Leon section, I'll let you know.
Yeah, you can't like freely switch between them. So I think you do though. Like when I was playing Leon Must Die Forever, which I just called Leon Must Die last week because I didn't know that Forever was on there, but like you're like playing in the rain, and you can in the rain I can feel the raindrops like on the like through the HD rumble. Like I feel like in Switch 2 more than Switch 1, like third parties have kind of like really run with the HD rumble. Like it does like cool things in Final Fantasy 7 Remake also. Like I feel like a lot of the big companies are actually utilizing it more. I felt like Nintendo
like
was the only one that really used it. Well, I guess I didn't
not
really use
really
the Pro Controller that much, but
gameplay element per se, but it is like a feedback thing that helps, that can help probably.
Yeah, but there's really cool stuff. Yeah, like I like it. Like it feels like you're getting rained on when you're like fighting zombies in the rain, like in like just little tiny rumbles in the controller, which is really neat.
But yeah, I really appreciate. I was talking about last week, but I still appreciate how cool this game looks and how well it runs on a Switch. How each of the individual zombies so far have seemed different. I'm sure I'll start to see repeats eventually, but they just all are different and they behave differently, and it's really cool. Like I fought this one that was like wandering around singing, but she couldn't really sing.
Oh yeah, she sucks. I killed her pretty quickly because she was
driving me
crazy.
But if she sees you, then she starts screaming and draws all the other ones. So that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, because she was like, because they're doing like the Land of the Dead thing where it's all like, the zombies are doing what they did, but when they were alive before they became zombies. So they're like stuck in this like circle of their habits, or like there's like a maid that will like constantly try to clean up the floor, like when there's blood wherever, and there's certain zombies that don't like the lights, and you turn the lights on and they'll turn them off, and you can kind of. There was a whole like broken thing with the blind zombie. I don't know if you saw like a lot of that online when the game came out. I think they patched it, but the blind zombie used to be like super OP, because he has like a walker thing. And if you like make noises next to him, he'll start swinging the walker around, and you could get him to kill like even some of the huge like overpowered zombies with the walker. So people were exploiting him and using, because I don't know if you got to the giant baby zombie thing yet, but there's a huge baby zombie that climbs through the area, and you could kill him.
I don't like it.
You could kill him pretty quickly with the blind zombie if you just directed him in the right way. So people were like kind of breaking the game with that guy, and I get from what I heard they nerfed him, like he's not as powerful anymore. But it always seemed like a really cool thing to do. I never fucked around. I never fucked around with it, but yeah, if you make a noise by him, he'll start swinging at you with his walker, and he can kill other zombies really quickly. Or at least he used to be able to. But yeah.
No, I mean, I'm really, like I said, I'm not very far into it at all. I'm stuck in the first part.
Did you get to the part with the boxes that have the different icons on them, where you have to move them to unlock things? Have you gotten to that yet? There's like these. I
did one that had like the sun and moon and stuff on it.
Yeah, like the moon and the stars and the sun. You did all those, right?
I only found one of those.
Oh, there's like 3 of them, I think.
Okay.
But I was gonna say, if you found those, I'm sure you figured it out. Yeah, there's the pictures that have like the combinations on them. And some of them you have to look at a couple pictures to figure it out. Like it'll only show parts of it. But there's a few of those that I remember that there were those. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Have you not?
I'll figure it out.
Have you not gotten to where you can make bullets out of blood yet?
No.
Oh yeah, because once I got there, the game got so much easier, because I could make a pretty good amount of ammo, and then I could kill everybody, and then I went through and killed all the zombies pretty much, except for the cook guy, which I killed him later with Leon, which I should have.
Oh, I knifed him.
I'll say, have you killed him yet? Because he has a key.
Yeah.
He has a key to a specific area that has a bunch of shit in it.
But it didn't have anything to advance the story. It was just like
it's just a bunch of extra shit, right? But there's also cabinets that you can only open with Leon, which I'm sure you've noticed.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there's ones that have like where you need an axe to open it. You tell, like, because there's it looks like it has a spot where an axe would go in.
As cabinets sometimes do.
Yeah, you got to axe it.
The ones that say the door is too warped to open or something like that.
Yeah, those ones. You got to be like, hey, cabinet, can I ask you a question? And then
all right.
No, don't do that. But yeah.
But I did go back to Blueprints, of course, because I will forever go back to that game. And I saw Room 46, so I actually ran credits on the
you beat it
on the Switch version. I did
beat it again for the first time. Beat it twice.
So yeah, I'm up to 27 allowance coins, which is pretty good. And it's it's just a nice, relaxing game to play a couple times a day, and I'm trying to remember what all I had done already. I don't think I unlocked anything new this week that I hadn't seen before, sadly. I thought maybe I had, but I started to remember stuff that was happening. So there's still more to do, like a lot more to do. But
like the game's right around the corner for me.
It probably is. It's just right through the just to turn around in your closet there, and you'll see the
it literally
TV.
is.
That's where it is. It's on your Switch, wherever that is. So it is like on the other side of the wall.
It's right over there. Yep.
Look at it. It's like it's right here.
I'll be playing that soon.
It's not on my Switch too, but it could be.
But I put a little bit more time. Well, I put like a couple hours into Tetris Forever this week, just because I wanted to get through all the documentary stuff, and I was enjoying it. So yeah, I went all the way through it, and played most of the games, and realized I actually like some of them. Like, I think I might actually kind of like Hatris. Hatris is actually kind of fun once you figure out how it works. It gets really hard really quick when they add the taller hats, but I don't know. There's like different versions of it, and there's this one version of it that was a little more silly looking, and I was enjoying that one. I can't remember which version it was, but Yeah, I liked it. And then there's like a special version that they did that's like I can't remember what they call it, like Tetris. Maybe they call it Tetris Forever. But it's like where you like do little time warps whenever you get a Tetris.
It's called Tetris Forever, right? The one where it goes to jumps to different timelines, or it jumps to different, like the Tetris changes, right?
Yeah, it'll like you get a Tetris and then it'll like take you back to Tetris on the NES, and it'll be like, or on the Game Boy, and it'll be like get a double, and then it'll go to like Bombless, and it'll be like defeat one of these things. And it's like challenge modes that are timed. And then once you either you get through them or you don't, you get bonus points if you can, but then it goes back to your Tetris game and you're back to that. But one thing I really like is that it controls just like Tetris 99. Like it feels identical. So it's just that muscle memory of Tetris 99. Like I was having a lot of fun playing it just because, I kind of already understood what to do. Like, it didn't have like the, all the attack functions and stuff, but it has the you could store the piece, call it back, and I just thought the physics and everything felt the same as 99. So
No, Sean is a Tetris 99 fan. Has she gotten in on Tetris Forever
not
as well?
yet, but yeah, I was gonna recommend it because now that I've seen everything, maybe I could just play it forever.
Yeah, no, the one that you're talking about where you go through the different timelines, like that was one of the big things that I really wanted to try on there. So I thought that sounded really cool. Aside from all the documentary stuff. And they don't talk about the third member, right? Is he not in there? The guy who killed himself?
They don't.
Yeah. I mean, I figured it's just
they
because
sort of kind of they mention him in passing, but
Yeah.
then they like kind of. I think it's Pagenov's just like the other guy or something like that. It was one of those things where it was just like,
well, it's probably
I'm not going to go there.
It's probably best to not mention him, but yeah, because he had like a Chris Benoit moment, pretty much, where he murdered his family and himself.
I didn't know all that.
They made a documentary about it that I watched. It
was on Netflix. Yeah,
it's called The Tetris Murders, and I watched all of it. And I had heard of this guy because the 8-4 podcast that I listened to, the main guy, he works for the Tetris company, so he has talked to all these guys and all this stuff about it. He was a part of selling this game and Tetris Effect and all this other shit. And
gotcha.
he briefly mentioned that guy, that somebody was there who had killed himself, but I didn't know the details of it until I watched that show. And it's this whole other stuff. And the show kind of makes it sound like maybe it wasn't him and the mafia was involved, which I don't know about that, but
Soviet mafia.
I don't know. Yeah, they were trying to propose some other ideas that maybe trying to make him look like less of a murder suicide person and all that, but less of a murderer. I don't know, but the show is worth watching. But they probably don't want to get too much into that because, it could bring some darkness to Tetris. But
sure. What is it that he did? What that makes him quote unquote the third guy?
Well, he was like a co-developer. Like he did work pretty closely with Pagenauf in the beginning. From what I
and this is not the same like the Wonder Kid that Pagenauf talked about, who like ported the original game to DOS or something. Remember that they mentioned that in the game, Jeremy?
I don't think so.
No, it's not that
the same person.
No, he actually worked at the company with Pagenauf, and he helped him develop it from like the ground level. So he was there like the whole time. They just probably don't want to talk about him because he has a very dark, his whole
dark twist at the end.
Yeah. He did some. It's like how they cut Chris Benoit out of most of the old WWE stuff if you try to watch it because they don't want to be reminded of that. But no,
maybe that'll be a DLC.
Yeah, but he was there.
I found it really interesting though. I did learn some stuff from watching it, and I stand by the fact that Pagenauf seems like a really sweet guy that would be fun to hang out with. Hank Rogers is I feel like I'd get annoyed being around him too long, but he still seems cool, I guess, for what he does.
Seems to be like enjoying life. That's the vibe that he has.
He's just always on, I think. This is the feeling I get about him. And that sometimes that's very tiring to be around.
The documentary does present him as like a good natural businessman from the get-go. Like remember he was working with his father at a young age, and it seems like he's got the entrepreneurial bug.
Yeah, he was developing games from a very young age, and he was in it for the right reasons, I think.
The guy's name is Vladimir Pokiko, And it says here on Wikipedia that he played an important role in the subsequent development and marketing of the Tetris game. And in the Forbes magazine, he was credited for co-inventing the game. And he also was the first person to use it in clinical psychology to conduct experiments with Tetris on people. Also,
Wow.
so yeah, no, he's credited as a co-creator.
Seems an important part of the story, yeah. But yeah, there are some other games on there. I wasn't really feeling Weltris, even though I understood, Pachinov was trying to create the perfect 3D Tetris because no one else was doing it right. And also, I guess I respect Hatris for being something he wanted to do, but it's so silly. It's hard to take seriously.
Yeah, it doesn't even really belong in the same lane as Tetris. It
Feels
has
more
Tris
like
on it.
Yoshi.
It's so different. Yeah, it feels
Yoshi.
like Yoshi. Yeah, it's a good comparison.
Except you can't switch out the locations of things. All you can do is move the pieces.
It reminds me of that awful level in I guess all the levels were awful, but in Bart versus the Space Mutants where you have to go to the mall and knock everybody's hats off. I just think about that because it has hats in it. That's as far as I got in that dumb game because
That'd be Bartris.
Because the hat. Well, I mean the part where you found all the red was kind of cool because I could beat that, but when you get to the hats, it was like, no, I don't want to play this anymore.
It's pretty staggering the amount of Tetris games there are. There's so many in the documentary that I wish I could try. There's some that don't exist that there's some Mega Drive version that never got released, but they actually had to destroy the cartridges because they had already made them.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the one that's on the Mega Drive Mini that I have. Right?
Probably.
Because it's
technically an illegal game, so they had to destroy it.
Oh, well, there is a Tetris game that came out for the Genesis Mini. I got it in Japan, so it was called the Mega Drive Mini, and it never came out for anything else.
That's probably it then.
And I don't know if that's the same game, but that was their Star Fox 2 of the Genesis Mini, where the Super Nintendo had Star Fox 2. This was their game that never came out but was finished. And it's basically just Tetris, but there's weird animations that happen behind it, and there's a 2-player mode where you both play single player next to each other. It doesn't really have anything to do with each other, but I would
it's like Tengen Tetris.
But I would I put it up at the bar and a lot of people would play it. Like when I worked at the Owl, I'd have it on the TV there. And it was
I kind of want to play
popular.
Tengen Tetris.
Play what?
I haven't played it since I was a kid.
Oh,
Tengen Tetris.
Yeah, do you still have the cart?
No. I went to someone's house and they had rented it, and I just remember being like, this isn't Tetris, because I had seen Tetris.
You gotta wait till Atari puts out Tengen Tetris Forever.
That was the the Tengen one was actually the only one that I played on NES because my friend Brian had it. So I never played the NES one till later, and I was like, oh, that's the same as the Game Boy one, because I just only knew the Game Boy one, but I never played the Nintendo published Tetris game until much, much later, like in college. But my friend Brian had the Tengen one, and I always just played that at his house.
It's worth
My buddy Chris had Tengen Tetris. He had some odd shaped game, which I believe was a Tengen Tetris game.
Yeah, the Tengens, they had their cartridges were different. Like they look different than
black,
the regular Nintendo cartridge. I remember that because I had never seen anything like that before. Yeah, it was black and it has more of a slant at the front of it.
Want to pay Nintendo for the cartridges.
Yeah, probably so. Well, yeah, because they were making everything illegally or something, right? They weren't officially licensed or whatnot.
Right, and for one, they weren't officially licensed through Nintendo, but they were also not officially licensed through whoever the company was, Alorc or whatever they were, that owned the rights to it, the Soviet Union. It's weird.
For sure.
But, all the pieces fit together somehow.
I see what you did there.
Until the bomb bliss showed up.
Until they all disappear. Until you Tetris them out of here. Are we ready to Tetris to a break here?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, let's do a little interstitial cutscene.
Yoshi.
Hey, you.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, you. Subscribe to our Patreon to hear our bonus shows, which happen every month.
I'm tired.
Tired of all the big corporate podcasts spoon-feeding you the same old video game news on every single show?
Spaghetti. Ravioli.
Then expand!
With NintenDomain Expansion Pack.
It's us talking about old games that were important to us. It's us interviewing people that we meet at conventions. And heck, it's live shows from those same conventions. It's basically everything you could want that NintenDomain ever made.
Here we go!
And it's just $1 a month.
That's less than a bad indie on the eShop.
It's $12 a year, which is less than Nintendo Switch Online.
Thank you so much for subscribing to our Patreon and supporting NintenDomain.
Just go to patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast and, hey, Mario, let go. Whoa! He's throwing us back to the show.
So long, Bowser.
Patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast.
Game over.
All right, we're back from the break. Let's talk about the news and the new releases.
News. Don't snooze or you miss the news.
The first thing you have on here we actually already talked about last week, but we could talk about it anyway because it got good reviews. And that's Sectori, not Sector, as I called it last week. Mm-hmm. I called it Sector because I couldn't see the I, really, because the font looks really fucking weird. But no, I guess it got a pretty good review. And like I said last week, people are comparing it to Geometry Wars, which I said that. Go back and check the tapes. I said that last week, but people are comparing it to it now.
Yeah, and I've heard it spoken of that way.
Yeah. So, but yeah, whatever. Nintendo Life gave it a 9. What is Goonect? Is that a story about the slimes from Dragon Quest?
So yeah, I was just reading about this one.
I haven't heard of it. I missed it.
It's about gooning on a mainframe.
Well, it's just the slimes they talk about. You know, they say goo and like everything. They'll say like good night to you or whatever. You know, because they're slimes. That's the way they talk.
So it's a sequel. This is Goonect 2. And the original one only came out in Japan, never came out here. But it is a 2-player co-op action adventure. And it looks like it's kind of like maybe a goofy physics kind of thing. Here's the briefing. Set off on a spirited journey through a vibrant 3D world where 2 players must hold hands the entire time to reach the end. We have a buddy for a classic co-op, couch co-op experience, or become besties with an online partner.
Ew. I don't want to hold hands with anybody. Don't they know about we're living in the age of cooties here?
Yeah, I wonder if like that's what the goo is, if it's like it represents the sliminess of touching someone else's hand.
Yeah, total stranger.
Yeah.
So all that snot that they've been
Gross.
wiping off their face for the past lifetime. It's all just there on the hand at once.
Ew.
Just connecting you through strands of goo.
Snot factories. That's what I call kids, snot factories, because that's really what they are.
Yeah.
Like the really young ones. They're just constant
Building an immune system.
constant snot everywhere. It's gross. This one is on sale for $15.99 for the next till June, till the 1st of June. Tales of Arise This is the latest in the Tales series, which came out like a few years ago, but I've always been interested in it because I've heard people talk fondly of it. It's coming out on the 22nd for $50. It's because it's like the most like modern Tales game, you know.
Right.
It doesn't look like Tales of Fantasia or Xillia or all those. I feel like there's like 3 or 4 of them that all kind of that all have like the same art style, so they look very similar. This one is like this one is the first like fully like HD 3D one or whatever. This seemed to look the newest to me. It looked the differentest from the other ones. But I don't think I'll get it anytime soon. But I'm interested in it for sure. And we already talked about Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. That's out. I played like 2 minutes of it. Maybe we can have Jess on next week to talk about it. Because our plan is to play it whenever I get done with this thing I'm working on right now. Our plan is to just play that game. So
sure, yeah,
play the crap out of it over the weekend.
Maybe play more than 2 minutes of it.
Yeah. Well, I have to. I can't play it much tonight because I actually do have to get up early tomorrow. But
is Jess a fan of the Yoshi games in particular? I know, like being a crafty type person.
Yeah, no.
Is that the appeal?
No, Jess likes the Yoshi a lot. Well, definitely. Like the Super Nintendo one, but no. Jess and I we played Whirly World and Crafted World, and Whirly World is really really good. Like that's probably I think that's the best one aside from the Super Nintendo one. Like it's actually a really great game. I had fun with Crafted World too. So we've played those ones together. Like Jess played them like more than I did. Like went and found most of the stuff, of the extra shit because it gets a lot harder when you get into collecting all the things. But I know that they beat both of those, so we're excited to get into it. So yeah, that's coming out. Well, it's out right now. Actually, it's been out for like 30 minutes. But I'll play it sometime when I have time. R-Type Dimensions 3 is finally out now. I put this on here because Jeremy, you mentioned it like a couple X-Packs back.
Yeah, and I want it.
About R-Type 3. Well, now it's officially out for Switch 1 and 2. It came out on my birthday. So it was released.
So what makes you want this one versus other shmups who I thought none of us were particularly hot on the shmup genre?
I mean, Jeremy plays them. Like you played that Blackbird game or whatever. Like you've or like you played. That's like
true. You like
Fantasy
Zone and
you've played.
I played all
Darius,
the shooter Zelda game that came out. Oh, I'm already forgetting what it's called.
Mini Shoot Adventures. Yeah,
Mini Shoot Adventures. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about. Yep.
I'll say Jeremy's played quite a few of them, but
that's straight up bullet hell.
But I mean, R-Type R-Type 3 is known pretty well for being like really good, right? Is what you're saying?
Yeah. It's a really like one thing that they did really well. Irem, I think that's the company. They did really well was their like just making everything really flashy and like cinematic. So even though you're kind of doing the same things, like blowing things up, after a while you'll understand the power-ups and how to do things. Like the levels will surprise you if you haven't played them before, and the enemies that are getting thrown at you, and just shit's crashing all around you. And if you run into a wall, you die, so you got to be careful about that. So it's a lot of like the environmental stuff that makes it special. And one thing I really like about this version, I watched a video about it, is it does the thing where you can do the instantaneous flip to the classic graphics.
Oh, nice. So I love that.
Switch back and forth whenever you want.
I didn't know that.
I think that's cool.
Because I was looking at, because it's $35, and I was just looking at it on the eShop, and it definitely looks like it's a remaster of the original one. Like this looks different, but I love when you can swap, when you can go back to the old and the new. Like that
they
was
do the hot swap.
Yeah, I love that for Tomb Raider, and especially like one of my favorite Switch games, or one of the first favorite Switch games, Wonder Boy 3 and the Dragon's Trap, which was on my top 10 at the very beginning of the Switch. But that game was so cool because you could change the look and the sound on the fly, which was awesome. I think this does that. I think that's the only game that I knew of that lets you change the sound without going into the menu. Like you click the right stick and you could switch it back and forth while you're playing it, which was so cool.
R-Type 3 is easily one of the best looking like Super Nintendo games as far as just like pushing it. And I think it was like a 24 meg cartridge or something, which was pretty big at the time. And so it didn't run on emulators, like all the different emulators at first, I remember. It was kind of hard to find one that would run it. So when I did find it, that's when I was really like, oh shit, no wonder. Like I wish I had played this on the Super Nintendo because it looks so good. So it's just like it's just a visually pleasing game with a decent level of strategy to it, and pattern memorization, and
So this is called R-Type Dimensions 3. Does that mean that there's other Dimensions games that are updates of the
I
previous
think
two?
1 and 2 might be included, but I'm not 100% sure. I think at least 2 is.
I think that they're maybe Dimensions is what they're calling like the remastered version. I don't know.
They put the Dimensions before 3, and I don't know, like, it makes me think like, oh, there must be R-Type Dimensions, and then there was
1 and 2.
R-Type Dimensions 2, which was
they've released
R-Type
other
2 or
R-Type
whatever.
game collections, and I have a couple of them, but nothing like this that looks like fully remastered. And I know there was like a PlayStation 2 game way back when, like that was really flashy and cool, and I remember that being a big deal back in the day, but I don't know where that falls into this whole.
What is the original run of R-Type games? Is it just 1 through 3? I don't know.
I think so.
So we actually talked about this a few weeks ago because it just. Oh no, I guess it didn't. No, it came out November of 2018. But no, there's R-Type Dimensions X is what it's called, and that has R-Type 1 and 2 on it.
Yeah, and I think I actually have that one.
And that one is on sale right now for $750. It's half off if you want to start at the beginning of R-Type Dimensions. Maybe it wasn't. There was another one we just talked about that was like, it was like R-Type Chorus or something. Do you remember that? Like a few weeks ago, and it had like 1 and 2, but like they didn't, or was it was a shoot 'em up game, and but it was like 2, and they were put together, but it was different from the arcade. Like it was a remastered version.
That's what I thought we were.
It was called like Final Chorus or something. That's what I thought. But that came out a couple weeks ago. But no, R-Type Dimensions 1 EX came out like fucking like 6 years ago. So, or whatever, whenever 2018 was. That was a long time ago. 8 years ago. So yeah, if you want to catch up on it, $750 is a pretty good price for that.
And as for this one, I mean, I'm probably not going to buy it right away, but I will put it on my wish list, and I've been using that more. And keep an eye for it to go on sale, because it just looks like the kind of game that I would just have a lot of fun playing over and over again, and getting to actually finish a game that is sort of legendary in my head because I never got to play all the way through it.
It was R-Type DX Music Encore. That was the one that just came out. That just came out at the end of April.
Okay.
Which also has R-Type 1 and 2 on there. So I don't know. I don't understand the difference. I think, like I said, this one like puts them together as one game and remasters that. It's like its own thing, I guess, is the idea, from what I understood from the details that we read back in April. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get the Dimensions 1 that's $750 just to give it a go. Because these games have always been appealing, looked appealing to me. They look nice, but I never really played them. I think, what was it, Super R-Type that's on NSO? I think that's the only one I played all the way through. So
yeah, there's one I put on. I have the CDI or whatever, not CDI, the Neo Geo. God damn it, what was it? The TurboGrafx CD.
Panasonic?
There we go. I finally said the right thing. TurboGrafx CD. That version was on the. You could get that on the Wii U, and I downloaded that towards the end of the life of that.
the PC, like the PC Engine.
Yeah. And it was the CD with the CD quality sound and all that. So it was extra nice. Redbook audio, whatever they call it.
Yeah. I played Rondo of Blood on that at a Midwest Gaming Classic way back when, on the CD version, because it had cutscenes and stuff, FMVs. Yeah, no, it looks cool. There's another shoot 'em up coming out too called FZ Formation Z, which that's what that stands for. I guess it's fun. I don't know why it's there twice, but it's actually produced by our friends at Clear River Games. So I thought it'd be worth mentioning because they've been on our show before to talk about, Mr. Gimmick 1 and 2. So they're doing more cool stuff, and this is another it's an old shooter that's getting re-released, and it looks interesting from what I've seen of it for $26.99.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of this series before. At least maybe I just did, but didn't remember it. It actually turns out the original is on the Switch under the Arcade Archives banner.
Oh, okay.
So you can get Formation Z on the eShop for $7.99, and then you get this new one, FZ Formation Z. That's $26.99, available on the 21st.
Yeah, it's one of those on sale launch games or whatever. It's like normally $29.99. It's like $3 off, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought it looked interesting. I'm not really a huge shooter person, but Clear River Games is cool. So
this one's a little different. It's not a shmup, from my understanding. It's a robot shooter, so you're like a mech, and it looks like maybe I think it's a side scrolling.
Is it like Contra? Is it kind of more like Contra, like that sort of running shooter thing, but not
maybe? I don't know.
air?
I never saw some video of it in motion.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I was trying to figure it out. I mean, it looks pretty. It looks pretty from what I can see. Here, but I'll have to look more into it to see what it looks. It looks interesting. I do like mechs. I like them mechs. Coffee Talk Tokyo. I think this was in a direct or a partner showcase or something. I remember seeing stuff about it, but it's coming out for Switch 1 and 2. There's like deluxe versions. I don't know. It's one of those games where you serve people and they talk about interesting things.
It's like the third one, right?
Yeah, because I played a little bit of one of the demos.
I think there's a few of them. Yeah, but this one I just remember seeing stuff about it, so I put it on here as a notable release.
Table Flip Simulator, not the one that you guys played.
Yeah, so that one's actually coming out this week. I don't know. I don't like the way it looks. It kind of looks like a mobile game. I don't know.
It seems to me like they're trying to cash in. Like they know there's some notoriety and curiosity around that table flip game, and some people want to try it but don't have a giant arcade machine that can flip tables at home.
I don't know how you would. They need that weird company that like made like the toilet paper game or whatever. Like those guys need to make a table flip one where you have to like flip a Switch controller in front of your microphone or something weird like that to make it at least play cool. Because I don't know how I
want an actual flip, like table flip. I want the real controller.
Yeah, because I don't know how else you would do it.
Off of it
Give me a mini table controller to put on top of my coffee table.
It'd be like a real cocktail cabinet,
Collaboration with IKEA. They'll put out the controller.
Yeah, and it'll break after you use it the first time. It'll have extra parts too that they don't know where they go. I don't know. The design of this looks weird, but it's only $15. Maybe if it's $5, I'll try it. I don't know.
But it's Starbites.
Starbites is so another game that's coming out this week is Starbites, which is which is like a futuristic RPG by NIS. NIS is the people who produced the Ys games. That's why I was interested in it. It's a brand new IP. It hasn't gotten like, I don't know, people haven't said great things about it. What I think is weird is it was supposed to get a Switch 2 release, but the Switch 2 release got delayed. But the Switch 1 release is out now, but the Switch 2 one is MIA. So I don't know what happened with that. But I was just kind of interested in it because it's in the world of like Ys and Trails and like those sort of games. So, and it's a new like sci-fi RPG with mechs. Cool. But it's been kind of, I don't know, been getting like 7s or so. I don't know, maybe if it goes on sale, I'll get it. But it's just, I've been interested in it because of the developer.
I mean, 7's still good.
Yeah, there's plenty of 7s that I loved, like Sonic Frontiers. That game's awesome. And you put Farming Simulator on here. I have no interest in that game.
I just know that there's a lot of people who really like these Farming Simulator games.
They just remind me of that old MySpace shit, like whatever. Do you remember that?
Oh, Farmville.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, where it's like your friend wants you to, I don't know, cut a tree or something for
like
Farming Simulator or whatever. I'm like, I don't care. I think there's a lot of these too. I figured these were just more like trash games because I see so many like blank simulator games. So I thought it was just.
I think they're like Germany makes a lot of the hardcore sim games. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was a German game. But some of those like I always wanted to try out like the 18-wheeler or something like that, just because I think it'd be fun.
I kind of wanted to do that snow game where you drive like the snow plow or whatever, but I heard it's getting a Switch 2 edition. So if I want to play the full on best looking one because I guess the Switch 1 version didn't look that great. But I just looked up Farming Simulator and there's there's so many of them.
It's a big following, like which I kind of dawned on me.
There's like 20, 23, 24. There's a few of them.
When I went to, I think it was the first of the 283s that I went to, they had a big presence, the Farming Simulator game. They had like a full tractor there and everything taking up a booth, and that really surprised me. That's when I kind of realized, oh wait, there's a lot of people playing this game, which I've dismissed up until now. So I guess it's pretty well respected, sort of along the lines of course, like Flight Simulator. There's a whole sector of people who just glom onto these types of games.
It's like Madden. It's got
I wonder if
it's
they've
got a
got,
game
like,
every
this-
year.
Or if it's like a specialized farm controller that's like a combine or something. I know. The more I learn about farming nowadays, the more I realize that like self-driving combines and stuff are a thing.
I was gonna say, does it?
It's
The more,
interesting. I like
the more
like
you
that show.
realize that it's not like Stardew, really. It's not like
Yeah.
Harvest Moon. I'm sure it's much more complicated.
You ever watch that show on Prime called Clarkson's Farm? I like that show.
No, I've never heard
No,
of it.
it's a farming show. It's the guy from Top Gear. He bought a farm, and they're like 4 or 5 seasons into the show now. It's interesting. It's got sort of like a nice genial sense of humor and
Showing what farming's really like.
showing what farming is really like through the eyes of this guy who is basically like a curious millionaire who wanted to try it out and has the means to do it. So yeah, I like that show. But
I just
yeah,
love I
I'm
love
not
seeing
in Farming
I love seeing
Simulator,
shows about curious millionaires.
Yep.
But I mean, as long as
What's
he
that called?
as long as he
Final
hires
Boss.
people and isn't an asshole about
He
it.
hires on the show anyway, and granted it's a reality show and all that. But he's sort of the butt of the joke, because he is like the guy who's like just into cars and
City
stuff.
boy.
And doesn't really quite know what he's getting into, but he hires all
probably
these people
understands
who are
the
real
farm
farmers. And
equipment. Okay.
yeah,
If he's like in engines and stuff, he probably can understand that shit. I don't even know if farmers are legally allowed to repair their equipment anymore. There's been
I don't
like lawsuits and stuff about that with John Deere and all that. It's crazy. But
It's a union thing.
I have 2 tomato plants I planted this year, so I'm kind of a farmer in real life.
We do too, actually. Just bought a bunch of we've been trying to do like raised bed farming stuff on our back
Oh, you're
porch
doing like
for a
the
while.
real deal.
And we tried it, and we did get tomato plants before, but they didn't grow well enough. But I think we had them. I think it needed to be deeper. So Jess bought some pots and and we do kind of have a little garden like on our back porch now. So hopefully we will be eating
Tomato plants are
eating
crazy 'cause
tomatoes and kale.
You like
and
let them
other
grow
things,
and get kind of
collard
tall. But,
greens.
but you let them grow and get kind of tall, but then you like cut all the branches off of them and you bury them, and then all the little furry stuff on them turns into roots. So like all the stem is covered in stuff that can develop into roots. So if you plant the stem like really deep, then they'll form like a really crazy root structure, and they'll like thrive. But it feels counterintuitive to like cut them up and bury them like to where they're barely sticking out of the ground. But that's what you do, and then they like get super strong, and they have to have a lot of sunlight too. So I decided this year I just had the 2 plants, and I put them in buckets, and I'm just going to move them around outside so they can get sunlight and all that. And it's going to be a bit more of they're going to be like my little plant Pokemon.
Yeah, hopefully ours work, because we bought plants that were already grown that you just stick in the soil and whatever. But
But I trimmed
hopefully
them
it
back
works this
into
year.
the thing when I buried them. So they're in like the cat litter buckets, so they're buried pretty deep. And then I poked holes I hammered holes in the bottom of them so they can drain.
Alarmo got an update. I haven't actually plugged mine into the internet in a long time. It's something got the Mario Wonder.
It isn't just
update.
it isn't just connected all the time, like through
Like,
Wi-Fi.
it can be, but I decided not to have it connected all the time because I just don't like the idea of a camera being online.
Like your phone,
all the time in my house. Yeah,
like your phone
Well,
that you
it-
have with you at all times.
yeah.
That's
My
a
phone
camera
is
on
kept
it.
in my pocket, but
Not all the
my
time.
alarm clock is just sitting there in my bedroom. So I don't like that idea. But I will hook it up one time and update it at some point. Now we're up to 4.0.0. I continue to love the Alarmo, and I've said a lot about it. What about Marvel Cosmic Invasion? Do you ever intend to get that game now that it's got your favorite character in there?
I mean, now I have to, because the thing has been added through DLC. So hooray!
There you go.
We got one of the Fantastic Four in there. No,
Incidentally, check your Slack, because over the break I sent you a little something. Happy birthday!
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. No, I haven't. I'm on here, so I haven't looked at Slack. No, No, I've been wanting to get it for a while. Like I almost got it when it was on sale last, but I figured I'd just wait till it's on sale again because it was like $20 not that long ago. But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like I got to now that the thing is playable in there. He doesn't get a whole lot of games, and
yeah, I did hear a review of the DLC
because there's some new story stuff too, right? It's not just the thing in Cyclops.
Actually, I don't know about that. I only heard about the characters. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just didn't hear about it, but I did hear positive reviews of the characters. Like one of the reviewers said that they loved playing as the thing. They felt like that added a lot to the game, and he's pretty unique, like powerful character, maybe a little bit OP, but a lot of fun to play with.
Does he talk? Does he say like, "Oh, my sweet Aunt Petunia," or like any of those?
Yeah, that's one of the things.
Like,
actually, they pointed out specifically. It was a video review, and they showed his some of his quips and everything. They said they felt like a really well-rounded, well-realized character, true to the comics.
I saw a picture of him with the dog. Like they just got a dog not that long ago, like in the current like Fantastic Four comic series. So I thought that was really cool that they went that far to put the dog in there. Because like him and Alicia are married and they adopted these two like alien kids and they've got a dog too like not that long ago. I was like, oh, that's pretty new to put the dog in there too. So I appreciated that. I was like, I understand that because I read it. I read all the Marvel Unlimited stuff, so I'm a few months behind, but still the dog is fairly new. So it's cool. I'd like to see the whole team in there. I'd like to see all the Fantastic Four in the game eventually. They all have fun abilities, especially like Johnny Storm. And, I'm not a huge Cyclops fan, but I watched a video of it, and he's got a lot of really crazy moves that you can do with the optic blast, like where he's like dodging around, like shooting the floor, and it's like pushing him from one side to the other on the screen. Like there's some really unique moves that they gave him with the optic blast, and I was like, wow. I was like, yeah, the Cyclops got a lot of shit to do. From playing the demo, I noticed that all the characters really feel differently from each other, which I think is cool.
That's good.
Because the idea is to play through it with a bunch of different characters. And I don't know for a fact that there's story stuff. I just thought I saw a review somewhere that said that it was more than just the two characters. That there was an extra. Cool. It said there was an extra mode, is what it said. But I don't know if that means if that's more story stuff or if it's just a different way to play the regular game. But they did say that there was an extra mode included in the DLC, and all of it's free. I believe so. Cool. But yeah, no, I'm intrigued.
We got some Virtual Boy icons to go along with the games we got a week or two ago.
Oh yeah, there's new Yoshi icons out there now too as of today. There's Yoshi and the Mysterious Book icons out there also. I figured I'm gonna just keep my Star Fox icon until we get the new Star Fox game, and then I can switch it. We have to try to find a way to do a podcast with the weird like fox head things. We have to do a video podcast.
I know.
I'm down with that.
We just have to do it. We can find. I mean, you don't need to have the Nintendo camera. You just need to have a camera. So, and we've done it before. Like I have
a camera.
I played the camera with you and Shauna. Like when the Mario Kart first came out, and I remember that she didn't like it because it had like the auto steer or whatever on it, and it's because it automatically does that. Yeah. Because it's like, don't do that. Just turn it off. The game did it. Yeah, she was just annoyed because it was on there. But we have to try that. We'll have to play with the weird fox head thing. We got to do at least one video with that. Oh, we already talked about the Elliot demo that's out now.
We did. Yep. So Nintendo might be returning to India for the first time in about 20 years since the Wii and DS era. Cool, but they're it looks like they're returning with the Switch 1, not with the Switch 2.
Returning like to sell it there or what?
Yeah, like they're officially right now they're not in India in an official capacity.
Oh, okay.
They haven't been since the Wii.
I didn't know that.
But it looks like they might be coming back with the Switch 1. That's notable on the grander scale just because it might also help the Switch to finally beat the PS2 in sales. That could be the thing. Oh, so that pushes it over.
That's the plan. It's like, oh yeah, what countries do we not have Switch 1s in? Let's get some more units sold, right? So we can. I want them to beat that PlayStation.
It's also probably a
Let's do it.
Great strategy given the current state of things, where they just had to raise the price on the Switch 2, and if they could unlock India with their hardware that's almost 10 years old or whatever at this point.
Which also got a price raise. The Switch
It also
One
got
did.
a price rate. Yeah,
that was a while ago, but yeah, that one got a. I always
maybe
thought,
that could be a good way to help prevent further price increases on the current gen hardware. So hopefully they actually do that. We got
Maybe so.
some announcements for games. First one up is Moss, the Forgotten Relic, and this one's notable because it's a well-respected pair of VR games that they're repackaging. Those being Moss and Moss Book 2, where you play as like a little mouse character. And it was I vaguely remember this from a couple of years back, 3D platformer in VR, which I only ever got to try one of those. I tried Super Lucky's Tale back when it first came out, and that was a really cool thing to do, like play a VR.
Isn't that a game? Isn't that the?
It is.
Is that
yeah.
the 3D platformer? Like, I have that game.
Lucky's Tale did come out, a couple of years ago on the Switch.
Yeah, it wasn't it a Microsoft game? I think.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, it was. Well, I remember. I it's one of those. It's one of those backlog games that I bought and never played, but I always wanted to because I liked the way it looked. But yeah, no, I think it was originally a Microsoft exclusive or something like that before it came to Switch. But I didn't know they had a VR version.
Yeah. So it was originally a VR game. Which I got to try that in VR, and that was pretty cool. Like think 3D platformer in VR. What's the point, or what's the deal with that? It's like looking at a diorama, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just you. Everywhere you look, it's just the game, right? It's not,
right.
It's not
exactly.
it's not like you're running and jumping or whatever. You're just playing the game, but it's all around you, right? Like
Exactly.
The screen is all around you.
They've adapted the Moss series, and that's going to be coming out. It looks like I forgot to put when it's coming out.
I couldn't.
It's coming out at some point.
I couldn't get the link to work, so I don't know. I tried to click on it, and it said I am error, and I was like, oh, damn you.
Dead Zone. That's something that you would be interested in.
Dead Zone Rogue
2.
Yeah. Dead Zone Rogue has not been out on Switch for very long, only for a couple of months, but I like that game a lot. It's like the only roguelite that I've loved out of all the ones that I've played. And it's when I saw they're making a sequel, I don't know when the release date of the sequel one is, but I was like, oh no, now I got to beat the other one. But I guess it was out for a while before it came out on Switch 2, but when it came out on Switch 2, it like made a lot of people liked it, and it's really good. It is a really good game.
It doesn't have a release date yet, but a demo will be available in June 2026
for Steam, though, right? Not for anything else, from my understanding. I mean, I don't think
so.
Well, I'm just saying I think it might. Maybe it'll take a while before it gets to Switch 2. It would be pretty wild. So. It'd be wild if it came out if we had 2 Dead Zones in 1 year, 2 Dead Zone Rogues before the end of the year, like on Switch 2. That would be really cool. I mean, Dead Zone Rogue's awesome. It's too bad you can't like game share it or whatever.
I thought about buying it this week, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's only like $20. It's fun. It's a fun game. I like it, but it's very it's for first-person shooter fans like me.
Memento, which is a cozy room decorator meets branching narrative experience.
To me,
it looks.
You have to write tattoos on yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not like the Christopher Nolan movie. I wish they should have
made tattoos about where you put your couch. Yep,
you should.
Memento.
They should make a game about that where you gotta kill a whole bunch of John G's or whatever, and you don't know who's who, and it's backwards. You start at the end or whatever. They can make it work.
Looks a little to me like what was that decorating game that I got Unpacked? Something like that.
Yeah.
In the same lane.
Something like that.
Order of the Sinking Star. This one's notable because it's from Jonathan Blow, who did Braid and The Witness.
Yep. I remember.
Did you guys watch the trailer for this? It's kind of mind-bendy.
I didn't. I just saw that it was from him. I just remember him. I don't know. I didn't like him very much in the independent game movie. I thought he was a prick. I thought he seemed like, I don't know, very holier than thou. Like he was very much like I'm smarter than you, in an asshole sort of way. I don't know. I didn't like him, or at least the way he was portrayed in that documentary from years ago.
Well, this one doesn't have a.
And I played Braid, and I didn't like it. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. I thought it just looked neat, but I thought it just irritated me. I couldn't understand. I didn't get that game. Maybe because I'm too stupid is what the creator would say, because he's a dick. That's what he said. That's what he said, that like most of the people are not smart enough to understand his greatness. Something like that. I paraphrased it, but I was like, "Fuck you, dude."
Well, it's worth watching the trailer on this one. And I found it pretty fascinating. So it's like it was kind of hard to grasp, but it seems like it's presented as if there are 4 different video games that have somehow mashed into one, like as part of the narrative. And so it's like you like learn how to play game 1 and then game 2, and then they all kind of come together and intertwine with each other in some interesting way. Very puzzly looking.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it's very pushy, object pushy.
I get what you mean. Yeah,
Like push.
it's like you gotta. Well,
Like-
it's like
It almost
it's
looks like
almost
Lolo or something.
What do they
like
call
Lolo
it?
or something. Yeah, it's like you got a giant overworld map, and like over in this corner it's one game, in this corner it's another game, and then somehow they all come together, intersect, and then you have to like push things around and move things, and use what you learned along the way in different interesting new ways. It looks like a giant puzzle box of sorts.
It
I'm
looks
intrigued.
interesting. I am intrigued as well. I just
And
don't know
then
if I'm
there's-
smart enough to play it.
There's a
That's
Hotel
that's
Barcelona.
what he would say. No one is smart enough to play the game, or anyone who doesn't like
Barcelona.
anybody who doesn't like it isn't smart enough to play it or understand it. Hotel Barcelona is a game that I hadn't heard of, but it's made by two of the weirdest and coolest developers, Swery and Suda51 or Suda51. So I'm intrigued by it just for that alone, because I love Suda51's games. And Swery, I played whatever the fuck, the Super Twin Peaksy one. There's 2 of them, and the second one was like a Switch 2 exclusive. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a murder mystery thing. The main character is supposed to be like Special Agent Cooper from Twin Peaks. I don't remember what the fuck it's called, but anyway, I own it on Switch 1. I've played it. I'm familiar with his games. And I'd like to see what happens when you stick these two weird developers together. So
I think I know what game you're talking about, but I never played it.
Deadly
Like,
Premonition, that's what
Deadly
it's called.
Premonition.
It's on the article here. Deadly Premonition. Yeah.
Never mind, that's not what I thought you meant.
I played that game. I didn't get very far in it because
Well, it certainly looks stylish.
because it kind of sucks, but I like the Twin Peaks stuff to it. I know it's divisive because it doesn't
I just saw a big baby in the trailer.
it doesn't control that well, but a lot of people really like it. So whatever. I was interested in Deadly Premonition 2 because you can skateboard in that one, just because you're still like a detective, but you just skateboard around.
Detective Tony Hawk.
Yeah, Detective Swery. Yeah, whatever.
We got a mobile game announced from Nintendo. This was
Yeah, the
pretty out of the blue.
Picto whatever.
Picto Nico.
Yeah.
It looks like WarioWare combined with face readers.
Very much.
I mean,
that's exactly.
don't forget WarioWare did have a camera game for DSiWare, which I never played.
Yeah.
But it did have a picture game.
So the pitch on this one is that it uses your photos in your photo library in new and interesting ways to basically play like WarioWare and Face Raiders type mini games. So make sure you have only appropriate photos before you play this game.
Right. I wonder how they'll I guess keep it local. So
Right.
you can't share it.
Don't just hand it off to the kids. Scrub
I
through
mean,
your
I'll
photo
try it.
library
I'll try
first.
it.
I mean, it's free. It's free, right?
It's free. It's free to play, so which makes me wonder like how they're gonna monetize this and squeeze money out of people with it. But
You can only
it also doesn't seem like it would be that fun for very long.
you can only do like 5 photos for free, and everything else you got to pay for or something. I don't know.
I'll definitely try it, and if it's another like $10 Nintendo download, whatever, I'll probably.
I see you paying for
buy it,
like costumes for the faces or
Yeah.
whatever, like give them mustaches or something.
I mean, if they make it like there was cool. I mean, there were cool like picture games that you could do on like the Game Boy camera, like
Right.
or like the 3DS, with where you could do like the 3D pictures or whatever. Like they've done cool stuff before. So I mean, if they could do it like that, then it could be cool. I'm sure I'll
supposedly
try
they
it out
were,
at some point.
there was a point where they were thinking about putting using the Game Boy camera to put faces into perfect dark for like a create a character situation, and then Columbine happened, and they were like, maybe not.
Well, they were going to do that for the original Mother 3 too on 64 with the disc drive. You're going to be able to have faces in that too, but it just nobody had the disc drive. But what would have been?
I'm kind of wondering what's the strategy behind this, because their mobile releases have really slowed. I think the last one was the Fire Emblem game that came out like a year ago that people kind of sort of forgot about.
I think they made a shit ton of money off of it though.
Well, there's the
Fire
one
Emblem Heroes.
There's the one that made like a shit ton of money. But
there was
another
another
out.
one. Yeah, nothing came of that, or I didn't hear anybody talk about it.
Right. I mean, I almost wonder if just like Nintendo being Nintendo, they've got their groups of people that are just coming up with whatever and get paid to come up with crazy ideas, and then someone came up with an idea that uses a camera, but their current system does not have a camera on it, so they're just like, all right, whatever, put it on the phone.
Well,
that's probably how it came about.
I mean, it does. We bought it. They just don't use it. I mean,
yeah.
You have to
buy. It doesn't
have
a camera on the actual.
You have to buy it separately, but
right.
Whatever. Didn't they? Well, it wasn't them, but there was like a third-party one, right? That you could stick on top of your Switch 2 that would actually like.
I think so.
Yeah. Or they would use the extra USB-C that never ended up doing anything on the top. I know like some third party made like a camera like that, but yeah, whatever. I'll try it out.
We got confirmation from Kadokawa Corporation that the Duskbloods and Elden Ring Tarnished Edition are still releasing in 2026 on Switch 2.
Oh, they just confirmed that it's still coming out this year.
Yep,
I mean,
just a reminder.
Wait, Duskbloods this year?
Duskbloods, yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm actually not super surprised. I think Duskbloods has been.
I mean, Duskbloods, I guess, was like a launch. It was the
playable.
first Switch 2 Direct. It was in there.
Yeah.
And they said
Announced
for
a
this
long time
year.
ago.
So, when we get another Direct in June, we'll find out.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll get one. We'll get an E3-ish one, I'm sure.
So 007 First Light, the game went gold on the other consoles, so it's done. And I'm assuming then that the whole team has jumped over to the Switch 2 version to hurry up and make sure that it's getting out on time by the end of summer.
I would hope so. Yeah, get on that. So I would hope it would be gold because it's coming out like next week, right?
Right. Someone recreated the set of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show in VR. Just a novel little thing, but I think that's pretty cool.
Does it have all the weird sound effects when you walk around? It just all those like you remember all the weird sound effects that just happen for no reason on that show.
Yep, the random, totally out of time sound effects. Yep.
I think Jeremy didn't you make a video of us like a long time ago where you stuck all those where we were talking about the Mario Super Show and you added a bunch of those weird sound effects on there? Do you remember that?
I think so.
Yeah, this was a long time ago. I think it's we did like a Christmas episode about one of the. I think it was like one where we just talked about the show and you did that. Maybe you could find it on YouTube, viewer, listener. You can find it if you look for it.
They made this virtual Mario set into a space where you can watch every episode of the show, and you can like
in the show.
In the show, yeah, on the set, you pick up VHS tapes and plug it into the VCR.
That's a VR. That's a VR thing I'd be into if I could like hang out in like Pee Wee's Playhouse and watch the Pee Wee's Playhouse show in there, and like sit on Cherry or whatever. I would do that. That'd be cool.
I even had an idea like this week, and when I was playing Pokopia, I was like, how cool would it be? Because like there's TVs and stuff in Pokopia, but all you can really do is like put an image on them from your photo album. Like it has to be like from the game, but how cool would it be if they were like, here's like some episodes of the original Pokemon TV show, and you can watch them with your Pokemon, like on your TV and Pokemon and Pokopia. That'd be cool.
Break their brains, like you guys are part of a TV show, and
right,
actually IP owned by Nintendo. And wait, what?
I mean, do you remember PlayStation Home? They kind of had that. This is like a PS3 thing, but like they had PlayStation Home where you could like, it was like a virtual world, and you had like you had your avatar, but you could have like a fake theater, and you could put movies on there, like videos that you had on your PS3. Like that was a thing. Like nobody, yeah. I never played it, but it was, yeah. I don't think anybody really did. But yeah, you could have other avatars over, and you could watch whatever. and it's just, yeah. I don't know. I never tried it, but I remember people talking down on it when it came out.
Could do like a whole like Mystery Science Theater through the internet with that.
You could.
Hey, I know that like as soon as the show is done, as soon as we're done recording, we're all jumping on to purchase the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which is now available on digital platforms.
It came out yesterday, I think, right?
Yeah, it came out on the 19th on your birthday.
I mean, I already got my copy. I already got my copy of it.
You bought two
with the baby crying in it. So I got
Yeah.
I got the pristine version. That was maybe that was filmed in a theater probably, but I got the best version. I don't need any other version.
Opening night version.
Yeah, this is we got the pristine HD one.
I would argue that I have the best version, which is none.
Fair enough.
I mean, it was definitely the best cam video I've seen in a long time. It looked pretty dang good. Last cam video I got was like the Fantastic Four first movie, the very first one from like 2006 or whatever. The one where Captain America wasn't Captain America. That one.
How about let's skip ahead and talk about a couple of video game toys. First of all, there's a Donkey Kong Bonanza plush out now at the Nintendo store.
I think we talked about this.
$50.
I feel like I don't know. I felt like we talked about this last week, but it costs the price of a Switch too. Don't get it.
It is a large one, but it's not like that Snorlax or something, that humongous like body sized one. It's looks like it's maybe 3.5 feet tall or something. It does not look like $450.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it needs to have. I mean, there's this picture. It's like the size of this guy. Maybe he's small, but I don't know. Yeah, that's a lot of money. There better be some cash inside of that Donkey Kong or something.
Some Lego are being retired. Nintendo Lego, including the Zelda Great Deku Tree sets
already.
The very first one.
Yeah, already. Better get on that.
The Zelda one. $300 still for that one. Like, yeah, man, I would like to get that, but geez, $300.
You know what? And it's gonna go up when it gets retired.
Only gonna go up. Yep.
It's gonna be way higher than that. I feel like that one was barely out. Like, didn't that come out like last year?
I feel like it was like a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a couple other Nintendo Lego sets. I know, like an Animal Crossing one. I think the Mario Kart one. Yeah, a couple others, such as the Way. And they're all just going to go up and up and up.
Yep.
But they'll never reach the top.
You can go to Brick Seeker and learn how to build it yourself.
I'm interested in this Hitman board game, though. I think I would like to get that, actually. I've been looking for a new board game to play with my my dad, and Rich likes to play board games too, and my brother-in-law. We get together and play this game Dark Tower every once in a while, and we need to get something new. So I think Hitman, the board game, would be just the ticket. I would like that.
Do you guys try? I mean, do you try to like kill each other on the Hitman game? Like, what are you all different 47s trying to fight the same target? Or I wonder how it works.
I really didn't read about it, but I'm already on board, as with other Hitman stuff.
Or if it's be like Hitman Go.
Hitman Go, which I love that game. That game was really good.
Yeah, it's. I was right. 4 players against one another in a race to see who can take out the target first. How else would it be a multiplayer Hitman game if that wasn't what you did?
Right.
So I was right. I figured it out. It looks kind of complex.
Did you guys hear that a Digital Foundry discovered that the Switch 2 game chat can boost the performance in RE Engine games?
I actually knew that. Last week, and I didn't mention it just because I don't know. I just forgot about it. But yeah, no, I heard it on their, because I listen to their podcast pretty regularly, and yeah, they got somebody sent them a letter about it, and they tested it, and yeah, it's basically because when you use game chat, the resolution goes down because the game has to run game chat. So yeah, so the game does run faster because the resolution is less because you're running game chat while you're doing it, and that's what that is.
So it's like you're running it in a lower setting, but
it's running at a lower setting because it has to do that for the game chat to work. So if you're playing like, for Pragmata and Resident Evil Requiem, they tested it, and yeah, it has higher frame rate because it doesn't look as good because it has to run game chat at the same time. and you get a lesser version, but it runs faster, I guess. I mean, that's an interesting thing, I guess, if you want to do that. But you could try it. Maybe if we ever do one of those Thursday night game chats again, you could try it out and see.
I'd like to do that.
Anything. I mean, you guys haven't been online on Thursday, so I haven't been able to.
I'll probably be on
chat
tomorrow.
ya. I mean, I'll be working all day tomorrow, so I don't know.
I work tomorrow.
I'll probably be exhausted. But speaking of being exhausted, are we almost done with this episode?
Yeah, one thing we should say is give a shout out to 20 years of New Super Mario Brothers.
Yep.
A game that should not have been called new is now
It's forever
20
new.
years old. Still called
It
new.
will always be new. It'll always be new to me. You know, actually, I thought about. I found my new Super Mario Brothers T-shirt that I got when it came out as like a pre-order bonus today.
That's not new anymore either.
No, but I mean, I still have the shirt. I still have the new Super Mario Brothers shirt for that game because it was
Still in good
because it came
condition?
out on because I got it as a birthday present and I got it with the shirt also. So I still have that shirt. I was looking for, I don't know, I've been wearing like older shirts that didn't fit me, but now they do. Like this Dragon Quest shirt that I hadn't been able to wear in a while.
Good.
That's a cool one.
Yeah. I used to wear it all the time. But I was just I was looking for some old shirts and I found my new Super Mario Brothers shirt today.
Still looks good, or is it kind of worn out?
It's 20 years ago and I did wear it
Right.
pretty often, so it is a little worn out.
I bought my copy off of Chris Kohler. Well, the one I currently have.
I'll say you got it when it came out though.
Yeah, I bought it when it came out. In fact, a good memory of mine with that game is that the band I was in at the time, Jazz Moon Base 2.
Yeah, you like it because you played it
We
during
were recording
practice.
we were recording an album, and so like everybody was doing their parts, and so there's a lot of sitting around in the studio while we were waiting to like go do our parts and stuff. So like in the downtime, I'd be playing that game because it had just come out, and man, it was great. I was
Yep.
sitting there playing an all new Mario game, and I was in a recording studio, and it was just like so much fun.
It's much better than my memories of it. I played it at a shitty laundromat that I worked at. So
Yeah, that's
it was not. I don't like that game, but it's fine. It's 20 years old.
like it.
A lot of people like it. I don't think it's very good, but
I feel
it's,
like
whatever.
Well,
I mean,
a lot of
it's
people-
it's fine. It's just really simple, and it's either
Sure.
like Big Mario, Small Mario. I don't know. It's my least favorite. Well, like that one and this, I don't like the 3DS one either. I didn't like any of the handheld new Super Mario Brothers. I thought the console ones were better, in my opinion.
I think it's important to note, like at the time, and this is something that I think a lot of people forget, and maybe myself, I forgot about this game, is that at the time we didn't think we were getting any more 2D Marios. We thought like that was it. Like
Yeah,
it was all 3D now.
It was a big deal because
and we
they
hadn't had
done
an
any
actual
like that.
new 2D Mario game since Super Mario World
Yeah,
Yeah,
at the time.
been a real long time, and I can remember in around like 2002 or 2003 or so, having conversations with you, Trey, like, wouldn't it be cool if they made another Mario game where Mario got small again when he got hit, and that was just like a pipe dream. Pipe dream.
Nice.
But then New Super Mario Bros. Came along and said, "Oh yeah, we can actually do
There it
2D
is.
and 3D at the same time."
yeah.
So even if this one is like not perfect or whatever, still fondly I remember it for just bringing back 2D Mario, which is alive and kicking today. So
I do like.
It felt great on a handheld too.
I do really like that the enemies dance to the music, and I think that's the only one that they do. Like I thought that was so cool, where they're like, where it goes bop bop, they like stop and like they point at the like. That was really cool, but I think it's the only one that does that. I don't think any of the other ones did it.
well, all the later new Super Mario Brothers, they all do it, but
It wasn't as noticeable. Like I didn't notice it on the ones that I played.
I didn't have the Mario 64 remake either, so that was when I got the chance to play all the fun like touchscreen mini games that were in it. So that like increased the value for me too, like playing all those games.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you could say it's better than the Mario 64 remake on DS, just because the control's so bad on it. I'd put it above that game probably, just because of
We didn't
the
need a special nub to play it.
the awful analog. Well, it's weird. It's like, yeah, let's put an analog game on a non-analog system. Yeah, smart move, guys.
And then you got like a little nub attached to your
Yeah, and
strap.
use the thumbstick or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
it's a shame they never released that with the proper analog. It like because all the new levels are cool. It's just a pain in the ass to play. Like I would love to see an HD version of Mario 64 DS with a proper analog control. And it would be really cool because there's a lot of extra levels in there and
You
a
could
lot of
kind of
extra
do it
stars.
on the Wii U.
Yeah, sort of, but you still have to hold Y to run. So it's not analog.
That's true.
You could just play with an analog stick and press. But somebody did mod it, actually, to make it work right. I just wish Nintendo would do it and it was legal and you could get it. Anyway, yeah, let's be done. What else do we have?
Last thing that I want to say is just some sad news on a personal front. So my neighbor from childhood, I got word the other day that he passed away, and he's someone who I didn't keep up with. I didn't know him anymore after I was maybe 6 or so when we moved away from that house. But nevertheless, relevant to this show is the fact that he introduced me to Nintendo. So
It's pretty important.
And I think you talked about him on a couple of the X.
I have,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, about your neighbor
that
that showed you different things. And
yeah, I always remember him for being a very inventive and really smart kid. He was always like what I remember most one time is like he always just had like wires and like kits and things like that. He was building stuff all the time, right? And he built one time. He said, "Oh, let me show you this." He took me down to the basement, and he had built a security system for the basement. He's 7. The security system was a calculator that he had rigged to make noise if somebody accidentally stepped on it, right? So it was at the bottom of the stairs, and
yeah.
so an alarm would go off if you entered the basement
and stuck on the calculator.
And yeah, so it was like it's still pretty amazing though for a 7-year-old to be able to do that and repurpose a calculator to make an alarm sound, And I found out that he passed through Facebook for my mom is still friends with his mom on Facebook, and the notice was posted there. And then so the other day I went on Facebook and just looking at people's remembrances and like talk about how he built the most amazing Lego sets. Like we all built Legos as a kid, but he had his like wired up and lit before Lego was actually like doing those electronics kits. Like he added lighting to Legos and all that kind of stuff when he was a kid. And then, yeah, he had the NES. It was the first place that I ever heard of or played Nintendo. And I can remember playing some games that I remember for the first time there. Super Mario Brothers 1 and 2, Zelda 1 and 2, Gyromite Stack Up. Yes, he had Rob, and we played Rob. That's the only time I've ever played Rob was at his house. Yeah, so he had a love for video games at the time. I don't know if he kept that love for video games or not, but I'm just saying all this to, because I was reliving these memories, and I'm sad at his passing. And his brother posted on his Facebook a video that he made of memories and photos, and as it happened, one of the photos was of us together as kids. So I put it on our outline here for you guys to see. Thanks.
I dig the fashion.
This is I believe it's on my family's porch. It looks like our porch.
I'm interested. Is that Japanese on your shirt or is that Chinese?
And it is. Yeah, I just noticed that earlier today. So it's a photo of me, and my 2 sisters are behind me, and then it's he's the one in the green shirt. He's the one who passed, and then his brother who was more my age, and so I was more friends with his brother a little bit, but he was more my sister's age. They were like best friends growing up. We were right next door to each other, next door neighbors. And yeah, my shirt is indeed Japanese, at the bottom, I'm trying to tell what it says. It's got English on the bottom. Something the Great. I have to think that this is from my grandparents, who I know they did a tour through Asia, so I'm assuming that they went to Japan and maybe got a shirt from Mount Fuji or something. But yeah, that's a funny little detail that kind of puts a nice bow on what I'm saying here. Just all my interest in Nintendo and nerd culture and all that, like, began at that time, and was largely thanks to my neighbor. I'm very sad that he passed away. Although I didn't know him later on in life.
Seems
as I
really
was
young.
reflecting this morning, I did. I was crying and talking to my sisters by text, and we're only in this life for a brief moment, and man, it's the way that people influence us. You never quite know, and it could be said that my love for Nintendo began with him. And so even if it only was like a brief time, a long time ago, I'm speaking to my neighbor, and I'm grateful for you. Thank you for your influence in my life. So I appreciate you. And yeah. And that I loved our time together. So yeah.
Thank you.
God bless you and your family.
Yeah, you never know how you might influence someone else too. Like, that's another thing about it. Like,
Say it one more time. I couldn't quite hear you.
You never know how you might influence other people. Like, be kind to people, and maybe make an impression on them. You don't even know it. Like, this guy
and I was
know that.
And I was really touched too that his brother included this photo in his montage, because you grow up and you grow apart and you don't talk to people, not by any kind of actual intention, just by happenstance. You just, we moved away, and then after a time you get to wondering, like, well, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed spending time over there, but did they remember us? And you know what I mean? You get those little questions in your mind as you part over time. And it's just like, it was a really nice reminder that, we grew up together as next door neighbors and enjoyed each other's company and had a influence on each other at a formative time. So yeah, I'm feeling very reflective and very grateful and sad. I'm praying for him and for his family. So
yeah, all the best wishes go out.
Yeah,
the NintenDomain family to this family.
To your influential
to all who
neighbor.
might be affected.
We send our best to you.
All right.
But all right, yeah. That's the episode. That's episode 521 of NintenDomain. Thanks everybody for listening. Hopefully we got to influence you or whatnot. If you want to hear more of us or you want to support the show, go to go to patreon.com/NintenDomain podcast, and you can hear our bonus shows. We just recorded an episode about the middle of games because I'm in the middle of my 40s as a celebration for my birthday or something. But I think it came out pretty good. There's some fun audio clips on there from different games you can listen to us talk about and whatnot. And and you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I'm still posting a whole lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake reels on mostly Facebook, but Instagram for something. So you can see them on there. I posted a 30-second reel from Crisis Core that got 4,000 views. So check it out. It's not even, it was a funny scene that I thought was funny. But you can find us. Just look up NintenDomain. You can find us online. But yeah, that's been this episode. We're your hosts. I'm Trey Johnson.
I'm Jerry Mikowski.
I'm John Knitter.
And thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
episode. We're your hosts. I'm Trey Johnson.
Trey, I'm not Trey Johnson. I'm
You're not
Jeremy
Trey.
Mikowski.
Imposter.
One more time. Sorry, we all kind of laughed over that.
And by the way, that's Jeremy right there.
Yeah.
But that's also Jeremy.
Yeah,
According to the-
Yeah, I got
According to
confused.
Zoom.
because we use the same account. But we've been your hosts. I'm Trey Johnson.
I'm Jeremy Mikowski.
I'm Trey. Jerry. I'm John.
Do a regular
Yeah,
one.
I think so. Okay.